My grandmother gave me a gold necklace from Shane Company. I feel connected to her whenever I wear it, and it means so much to me. And that's what I wanted for my girlfriends, something we could each wear that would keep us close, especially since we haven't seen each other in so long. Shane Company has such a great selection of engravable jewelry. I picked out a beautiful 14-karat gold bar necklace. I got one for each of them, and then I chose an elegant font and had them engraved with their initials. It's the kind of thing they can wear every day. I can't wait to hand them these pretty little boxes with burgundy bows. I really think they're going to love it. It's a little treasure that will keep us connected forever.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Hi, Sean Long for STL Fenceworks. We're celebrating 50 years in business. In 1971, my parents, Russ and Carolyn Long, started this business. Their vision, offer quality products with next-level service affordably. STL Fenceworks is celebrating this milestone with the STL 50 promo. For a limited time, to qualified customers, we're offering $1,500 off all Wolf maintenance-free decks or custom leisure space projects, and $500 off all vinyl, steel, and aluminum fence projects. Let us build your dream Wolf maintenance-free deck with exquisite black railing and accent lighting. Or imagine a breathtaking leisure room designed and constructed to meet your needs and complementing your lifestyle. Save $1,500. And our maintenance-free fence options equal fun and safety for your pets while you enjoy $500 off. Visit stlfenceworks.com and learn more about our STL 50 promo today. 50 years of meeting and exceeding your expectations. At STL Fenceworks, your satisfaction has been and continues to be our passion.
Download the Odyssey app to discover hundreds of new exclusive music stations. Available now. For music fans, by music fans. Yeah, it's over. Music stations specific to your taste. Now available through the Odyssey app. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock. River Views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the
From
Annie Frey Show.
To diplomatic disputes, the border, fallout from the botched and deadly drone strike in Afghanistan, President Biden is facing major challenges and major questions this week. The growing crises engulfing the White House.
Welcome into the Annie Frey Show. Happy to be with you. Happy Monday. We're back at it. Got Brad Range in here, the executive producer of the Annie Frey Show. Hi, Brad. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing fine. You said I'm well. That is correct.
I picked that up from a radio show that I used to listen to years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the Bible Answer Man with Hank Hanegraaff. And they'd call in and they'd be like, "Hi, Hank, how are you?" And he would always respond, "I am well."
Yeah.
And so I looked it up. And like you said, that's correct. And
that
so
is.
I just made a habit out of trying to say that.
It almost is something that you just say, "I'm good." Because if you say I am well, people either think like, "Oh, look at him go with his grammar over there," or they think you're wrong because nobody says it correctly.
Listen long enough and you'll hear me mess up grammar.
Can you see if Hank can be on the show a little bit later? He can do a grammar hour with Mr. Hank. Trisha in studio here with us, who has been shepherding Brad through the process. And Brad, as of the end of last week, is really just, he's kind of doing his thing.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out.
So how are you?
I am well. Also?
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I'm doing good. I'm doing
darn
all right.
good. Thanks.
We've all three of us independently, and then we kind of came together when we were putting the show together. We've got Stephen Moore coming up at 1:00. The spending bill. I've been talking with Stephen Moore about the spending bill since I've been coming back. It's been going round and round in circles. I saw an article on The Hill yesterday, and it says Biden angry at Democrats over spending bill. And I was like, oh, wow. And then I read it, and he's mad that they're raising taxes enough. And I'm like, oh, this is where we are right now. Nice headline, The Hill. Am I supposed to say The Hill or Hill? Nice headline, The Hill. It doesn't sound right.
I think it is, though.
Yeah.
The Hill.
You remember when this presidency started? The adults were back in charge. And do you remember when we had an inauguration speech that was all about unity? Name a single thing this president has done to unify the American people. Anything?
I'm thinking.
I can't come up with a single thing.
No. I mean, like, that was his whole inauguration speech about how he was going to be a unifier.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking for any olive branch. And it seems like he came in, hit the ground, and just like...
Or even common ground.
Right. He just started blaming people.
Yeah. And I wonder, as I'm sure you do as well, who's really running the asylum here? I mean, is this administration, is this Joe Biden's brainchild? That's not funny, image. Trisha. That is not, don't laugh about that. That was Trisha laughing.
I apologize. Sincerely.
I mean, it's not. Let's be real about this. There are people who are pushing this administration with this Democrat majority to maximize the amount of time. I feel like it's the exact opposite of what Republicans do when they are in this position. When Republicans get the House and they get the Senate and they get the executive branch, it's like, all right, we're in charge now. The American people put us in charge. Let's work across the aisle to get stuff done. Nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. And the Democrats are in there right now, scorched earth, trying to get every single pet project, sorry, PETA, done so that they can get it all in before 2022. Where here's another question. Do you think that the Democrats who are in office right now, or the people who are in charge of getting Democrats in office right now, do you think that in their mind there's any chance that they, let's say, expand their majority, say in the Senate, or retain their majority in the House? Or do you think, I mean, it's as crystal clear as it possibly can be that clock's ticking. You have till the end of December 2022 to get anything done. And that month and a half is going to be a lame duck session. Do you think they know? Do you think that they are delusional? Because I see a lot of things and I'm like, how can they not know? But they really believe it.
Yeah, they're incredibly self-righteous. So they may truly believe that they've got it and they're going to keep it.
I wonder maybe like if they're not getting out into their constituency enough. We all have
talking to real people.
Yes. I feel like we all have these confirmation biases. And so we like to surround ourselves with people who think and sound and talk about the same things and are excited about the same things as us. And that's, natural. That's what people do. That's what humans do. We like people who are like us. But whenever you're in a government position, and you're representing a population of people, you have to be open to hearing counterpoints, other thoughts, and their actions say that they're not listening to counterpoints. They don't want to hear it. As a matter of fact, sometimes it sounds like they're actually actively trying to suppress anything that's counter to what they want to talk about.
Do you think that happens on both sides?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. It does. It's really hard for me because I think I'm guilty of it too. It's a conscious effort to try to hear the other side. And I want to know where they're coming from. I want to understand their point. I want to be able to mull their point around in my head. And I can do that and be intellectually honest without actually accepting it, right? Mm-hmm. If you're threatened by hearing the other point, I don't think that you have a good, solid grasp of your own beliefs and thoughts.
So, Trisha, over the course of, how old were you when you started working at 97? I mean, when you interned with me, that was 2012.
Yeah, I was maybe 22.
It was to finish college.
Yeah.
So you would have been in
21. Because I had taken a little bit of time. I had a mid-college crisis in there. So I was in my early 20s.
Was the mid-college crisis fun?
Not for my parents, who were very excited about me graduating.
Oh, I know they're very proud of you now.
They are. They're extremely proud of me. But when I called and said I want to go back and take art classes my junior year at the community college, my mom almost had a heart attack.
Did you take some time off?
Yeah. No, she wouldn't let me take time off. That's why I took those art classes. I took like photography. And
I was gonna say, what kind of art did you want to do?
I just had never done anything like that. So I wanted to experience the other side of the world before I committed to something.
Get all of the things in your life that you want to do out of the way for fun before you graduate college because it's just downhill from there.
Yes, but it actually worked out because I liked the film stuff, and then I ended up going into communications because of it. So that's how I ended up here.
So the mid college crisis was before you chose communications.
Correct.
You didn't divert from communications.
Nope. No, I diverted.
So you found your path because of this.
Yes, I diverted from computer management, and here I am.
Yeah, and here you are.
Yep. So early 20s.
So over the course of your time, I mean, I don't know, like politically how even active you might have been in college, but not even issue specific though, just being exposed to an array of different people on this radio station working here as somebody who's doing technical things. You know, you weren't engaging. It wasn't your job to come to work and have an opinion on day one. And you've been able to grow into that as you have felt comfortable over the course of time. But I know in many instances, you've been hearing arguments that are on the other side of the aisle than where maybe you would have started. Does that, I think it's always how the argument is made, like the tact.
Yeah, absolutely. How we speak to each other and how we are willing to what we're willing to let in. I think to Brad's confirmation bias point, I see that a lot on both sides working in this. And I actually am really proud of the product we put on as a whole,
right?
Because we do allow for a lot of room on both sides. But to what you're saying, like it is how you deliver those messages. It directly impacts the willingness for them to be heard.
So while we were putting the show together, it's kind of where I started with this. The news over the weekend has pretty much been consumed with the Gabby Brian laundry.
Yeah, the Gabby Petito.
Yeah, it's
the Brian laundry.
That's been consuming. I get why. The story is so bizarre. I'll tell you personally, like if you're tuning in to hear what I think about that, I don't know that I'm going to talk about it much because I am very, very hesitant to use that as entertainment for people. And I know people will reach out to the show and be like, Annie, you have a responsibility to articulate the conservative viewpoint on things, as if my job here is to make more Republican voters. That's actually not true. That's not that's not why I'm paid to do what I'm doing. And it's also not why I choose to do what I'm doing. I consider my job here to entertain you with conversations that I think that you want to hear, that do not compromise who I am as a person. And I think that it is compelling right now to be able to talk about these big issues that everybody is shouting about right now. And for us to have a calm, collected conversation where everybody can come to this conversation. And as long as you're respectful, I don't care what side of the aisle or, where you are on the issue, we can come talk about that. My goal is to share with you my circumstances and my perspective, which comes together to create a viewpoint that I have, which I will, of course, advocate from time to time on specific issues about what I think should happen going forward. But that only goes as far as the other side of the aisle coming to me with that same type of understanding, where you have a perspective, you have a set of circumstances that creates your viewpoint, and where we meet in the middle is where people can listen to that and make their own decisions about which parts of your argument they like and which parts of my argument that they like. And then they formulate a different perspective. They don't choose your side or my side. You get your own perspective, and you know that, and you're tired of flipping on the radio station or the television station or the podcast and having somebody shout at you about how wrong everybody else is and how right that person is. And if you believe with what they're saying, how right you also are. It's just a very antagonizing, stressful way to go about getting information. So this January 6th, I had to Google, like, what are people calling this event that did not take place in Washington, D.C.?
I don't even actually know the answer to that. It was
we have a hip,
wah, right?
Yeah, we have a hip way of referring to January 6th now. Now it's J6.
Oh, okay.
Is there like a T-shirt?
So like the J6 commish, is that what we're calling that commission?
In a rap lyric near you. It was a rally to, from what I understand, and I forgot about it. I was listening to Fox News on the way into work, and they were talking about this and the fact that it was I mean, I remember seeing going into the weekend that they were putting up fencing and they were, the National Guard or whomever was going to be in there. And I remember being like, what's going on there now? I didn't know about this. And I saw reports that maybe 100 people showed up to this.
It wasn't much.
It's not enough to be making the news.
No. The other thing that I saw going on Twitter or going around Twitter with this was pictures of undercover agents or people suspected of being undercover agents.
Oh,
I don't
definitely
know.
a cop.
Yeah, definitely a cop. And then I also saw that only one person
was arrested.
Wasn't really arrested.
Detained.
Because, they removed him from the rally. He had a weapon, but then he showed a badge. And you can overhear in the video, are you undercover? You can't really hear the answer.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's two options for that. He's either undercover or he's an off-duty law enforcement officer.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, they just took him out of the rally.
So here's the thing. It's very interesting to me how much the mainstream media played up this thing. I was listening to a montage of clips, which I might have for you when we come back, because we're going to talk to Marc Cox a little bit about this. We were fighting over what we had to talk about when we set up this interview. Trisha's like, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Anderson Cooper and Chris Cuomo and all of these people talking about who real patriots are and how these people aren't real patriots. Oh, thanks. I was tuning into, Don Lemon to find out what an actual patriot is. Thanks, Don. Is it a win or a loss for MSNBC that only 100 people showed up to this event? I don't think they know what to do with themselves. Because when MSNBC spends and invests as much time as they did, CNN, into talking about the refuse of the country who's going to show up in Washington, D.C. to defend what happened on January 6th, and nobody shows up, what are you doing with your time? You've dedicated this much time, and the payoff is for you to be able to point and say, see, look at these terrible people. Because if those terrible people exist, then you need to elect people to stop them. If those terrible people, the boogeymen, the monsters in the closet that you've been telling everybody to be afraid of for the sake of the country, don't show up, then your boogeyman has no clothes. Am I mixing my colloquialisms there? Because a boogeyman with no clothes is scarier than a boogeyman with clothes. Unless they were really well dressed, then you think that they're like an intellectual boogeyman. They can play with your mind before they do what boogeymen do. What do boogeymen do? Do they just jump out and go, rawr? Or do they actually is there an attack, an action?
It's more like just creepy, scary.
Yeah.
I'd rather mine have clothes on than not, though.
Yeah.
If we're taking a vote.
Your boogeyman can be whatever you want it to be.
My boogeyman has pants, is all I'm saying.
That's the name of a child's book. You need to write that book. I mean, the whole point of the boogeyman is that you never actually meet the boogeyman.
Yeah.
But it's always scary.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always there. And you hide under the covers to keep yourself from being attacked by something that's not actually there. That's what the left wants. That's what the mainstream media wants. And there was nobody there. And if they were to show up and report on it, that's opening the closet door and showing you there's nobody there. So they just don't talk about it. They get credit for the entire week leading up to this event that was a big womp womp. Nothing happens, and they're happy to move on. Pay attention to what they're not paying attention to, folks, which you already are, which is why you weren't there either. Let's take a quick break. We're going to ask Marc Cox about a whole bunch of important things. Trisha's giving me a list of questions to ask him. He's being particular.
Pants or no pants
on
Boogeyman.
The boogeyman. We'll ask Marc Cox when we come back. And Stephen Moore at 1 o'clock. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is what I say. Run away, baby. The fire put my spell on you. You better get.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it.
When your kid can't find the language, find the lyrics. Start a conversation at soundedouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
We've all seen the news, and if you haven't been thinking about cybersecurity in your business, you probably are now. It's never been more important than it is today. At Acropolis Technology Group, we're having these conversations daily, and they primarily fall into one or more of these three categories. One, I'm renewing my cyber liability coverage, and my insurance company is asking me to check boxes that I can't check. How do I fix it at a reasonable cost? Two, I'm so integrated with my suppliers, business partners, and customers, they're asking me the same questions. We're only as strong as our weakest link, and I'm concerned we aren't doing enough. Or three, most of my employees get it, but there are a few that I'm really concerned could expose us to a ransomware attack by accidentally clicking on the wrong link. How do I educate them and lessen my risk? If you're concerned and not sure what to do, we can help. Security is a layered strategy that begins with a conversation. Let's start that conversation today and visit us on the web at acropolistech.com. That's acropolistech.com. Protect, optimize, grow. We are Acropolis Technology Group.
Michael's Flooring Outlet, the place you're going to go in St. Louis, locally owned right here, have been doing carpet, flooring, hardwood tile, vinyl, luxury vinyl plank, all of the kind of flooring options that you're looking into, probably just a few of those. You can go to Michael's Flooring Outlet and talk to the experts who have been supporting 97.1 for so incredibly long as I've been here. I want you to know that when you go into Michael's Flooring Outlet, you're going to get to touch and feel, even walk on that flooring that you are looking to purchase. You're going to get to experience it. And if you go onto their website, igotfloored.com, that's igotfloored.com, you can go right now and you can see an entire list of inventory that they have in stock, which right now everybody knows there's supply issues taking place. If you want to know that you can go get something and have a turnaround time be pretty quickly, you can do that with Michael's Flooring Outlet. If you're looking for carpet and you want to check out that Smart Strand Mohawk Silk Reserve with the amazing softness and great durability, igotfloored.com is the website that you need to check out. 3 locations across St. Louis, online at igotfloored.com.
This is Rebecca and John Sheehan, walk chairs for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Light the Night Walk.
Join us October 16th in Forest Park for an unforgettable evening walk as we bring hope to local blood cancer patients.
Participants carry illuminated lanterns for survivors, supporters, and in memory of loved ones. Together, we bring light to the darkness of cancer. In addition to funding research, LLS helps patients every day, ensuring access to quality, affordable care.
So form a team and learn more at lightthenight.org. That's lightthenight.org.
Marc Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, Mark Reardon, and Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group for the last Protecting Your Retirement educational event of the year. It's Tuesday, October 5th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Register online at retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Will you be able to retire with confidence and maintain the same lifestyle as you are now? Are you facing losing your job due to a mandatory vaccination requirement, and you'd like to know your options on rolling over your company retirement plan? Are you concerned how inflation could affect the stock market in a big way? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can now roll over your 401k or company plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any future losses? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 or older, you don't want to miss the last event of the year.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisor of my show, Thomas Helbig, along with me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, Tuesday, October 5th at 6:30 at the Frontenac Hilton. Call 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com. Marc Cox here. What is The Mash? It's my new podcast for all things bourbon. The industry's exploded in popularity and price, but you don't have to break the bank to get a good bottle of bourbon. Stay thirsty and hear the inside stories from master distillers, like why Pappy Van Winkle's popularity was actually a marketing mistake, or the best routes for the bourbon trail. Download The Mash today on the Odyssey app or wherever you download your podcasts.
Want to know what's really going on in the world? Follow 97.1 on Twitter and Facebook and weigh in. They can't ban all of us. It's the world, the country, and the community. 97.1 FM Talk. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Seas that rise when I gave your word. Now in the morning I sleep alone. Sweep the streets I used to own.
It has been a tough week for President Biden. In addition to the day-to-day managing of the pandemic, Biden is dealing with the discovery that a U.S. drone strike killed 10 Afghan civilians. An enraged Emmanuel Macron after a scuttled submarine deal with France, and over 10,000 Haitians gathered at the southern border.
There's a lot of folks right now that are not the usual actors you would expect to be speaking in these terms, kind of saying it's a rough go right now for Joe Biden. And when you hear these other folks speaking on that, does that mean that the foundation here is starting to crack? I don't know. Marc Cox might know. Let's talk to him.
The conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government. Get off my back.
I'm the best there is at what I do. You're a lying, dog-faced pony soldier.
I wouldn't make it a habit calling me that, son.
And that's the bottom line.
Marc Cox of the Marc Cox Morning Show. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show in the afternoon. How are you? What's going on? Oh, I have to put him on. See, I got to get used to doing that. I'm used to being at home in my studio, and I got to push that button, and I always forget to. Mark, let's try it again. I'm not going to do the whole thing again.
I am well. That is the correct answer, correct?
That is. Brad with the grammar lesson at the top of the hour here. When you hear people like CNN and Fareed Zakaria and Manu Raju talking about a rough go for the Biden administration, does that make you raise your eyebrows a little bit? How do you feel about that?
That makes me laugh out loud. I mean, particularly the way they phrase things, right? I mean, I listened to them in that report say to discover that a drone strike in Afghanistan took out 10 civilians. If it was a Donald Trump drone strike in Afghanistan that had killed a carload of not just civilians, but 7 of them were reportedly innocent little children, that's how that would have been reported. I mean, it's outrageous how they try to soft pedal the biggest disaster of his administration to date. It's just more evidence that they're just a political action committee for Joe Biden.
Yeah, that is so spot on true. I find myself always asking myself, can you imagine if Donald Trump would have done this? And to me, it seems like it's starting to feel like a fruitless question to ask because it really doesn't matter. I don't know if Donald Trump's going to be the president again or not, but if that's what's in the past and we know how two-faced these people are, what do we do about this in the future?
Well, I mean, I think it's one reason, Annie, why conservative talk radio is so popular. It's one reason why Fox's ratings and OANN's ratings and Newsmax ratings have been going up because people, they need an alternative to the mainstream media. That's really what Rush Limbaugh started all those years ago. I mean, it was eye-opening to hear Rush Limbaugh say the things that were inside my head, but that you weren't hearing on the mainstream media, because even back then, 30 years ago, they were already part and parcel taking sides. That's where it rests. Fortunately, now we have the internet, and while you certainly can't trust everything you hear on the internet, you have to have outlets where you can go find out the truth about what's going on. And just like yesterday, and maybe you were about to bring this up, I don't want to assume, but just like when they lied about this J6 meeting in Washington, and they had legitimate threats they were investigating leading up to this J6 rally. Are you kidding me? On social media? I know criminals by their nature are stupid, which is why they get caught all the time. But how stupid would you have to be to put on Facebook or Instagram or whatever you're on, Snapchat, that you're getting ready to go to Washington to commit a violent act? I made this point this morning, but if the president's traveling somewhere, they send an advanced security team there. And if there's anybody in the immediate area who's ever even hinted at making a threat against the president, that person suddenly gets indisposed that day. Like, for example, they got a traffic ticket from 15 years ago and they're in jail all day while the president's there, just in case. The police and the FBI have been doing this for years. So why didn't they just take these people who made the threats and deal with them in advance? Because it doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't help them further their cause.
Yeah. I'm thinking too about, you use the word, the narrative. I'm thinking about how long they can keep this jig up, because I'm, looking at the stock market today, hearing that it's plunging. It could go back up again. I understand that, there's an ebb and flow to that. We're going to speak with Stephen Moore at 1:00 to talk about this massive spending bill. They're trying to put an immigration reform stuff into it, and so far being told no. But people are seeing with their own personal freedom about where they can go and what they have to wear or not wear. in a store. People are being told that if they don't comply to the medical demands of the government, that they're going to lose their jobs. People are going to start seeing even more so. The inflation is hitting every industry everywhere. We have supply chain concerns. We have employment concerns. These are things that get into people's real personal lives and make other people wake up that aren't normally paying attention to the reality show that's taking place in Washington, D.C. Can they keep this narrative going? Because I'm not so sure that they can.
Well, they're working hard on it. I mean, what happens when the people who were fed the lies leading up to the last election that Donald Trump was not working in their best interest? What happens when they wake up one day and realize that the unemployment rate for their particular demographic has gone through the roof? Because Donald Trump had done with the rising tide lifting all the boats, had done amazing things for a variety of different races and ethnicities, and I mean across the board. Stephen Miller could probably address some of that a lot better than me. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. What happens when those people wake up and realize, wait a minute, this is what I voted for? I gave up what I had because Orange Man bad, and now the reality is I can't get a job, or I'm going to have to be fired from my job because I don't want to get a jab in my arm that I'm not quite sure that I want, but I'm told that I have to surrender my livelihood because Joe Biden has decided this is what I should do. I think a lot of people are going to be turned off by that who probably voted for this guy in 2020. And in 2022, the only way to answer back is to turn over control of Congress back to the other party so they can try to slow down some of this nonsense.
Yeah. This story about this J6 rally that was taking place this weekend in Washington, D.C., the government putting up a bunch of fences and having a bunch of law enforcement there to keep the Republicans from coming in and doing, what Republicans do. I always think about you and that you were at the January 6th rally, and you heard the president speaking, and you saw the massive amount of people who were there, but you also didn't storm the Capitol building. You weren't in the Capitol building. There are so many different things that can be true at one time. And the narrative, the capital N narrative that you were talking about before, and the mainstream media and the people who the narrative and the mainstream media keep in power, the Democrats and the far left, they can't have there be nuance in any of this. It has to be, as you said, Orange Man bad. It has to be every Republican supports, breaking into Nancy Pelosi's office and stealing all of her things. That is the whole party. You saw so many people there who were they were there for a different reason than what all the cameras ended up covering, as they should have, as those people flooded the Capitol. I'm curious, what is the Republican today? What is the anti-Biden voter today? What do they care about?
Well, they care about not seeing senseless policies. I think most people expect that elections have consequences and that you're going to get a few reforms from whoever's elected with things they've run on their platform. I don't think anybody expected what Joe Biden's done. I just don't. I mean, I think common sense people can relate to some degree to the fact that Joe Biden was going to try to raise taxes. We figured that. Joe Biden was going to probably get friendly again with everybody in Europe and these European socialist democracies, and would even continue Obama's attempt to move us in that direction. Nobody saw how radical he is and what he's done right now. And to your point there, to the J6 rally, from what the FBI reported, they had just as much warning before January 6th as they had before this past weekend on the 18th. Miraculously, they managed to get fencing up all the way around the Capitol, and they had more reporters out there to protect the Capitol than there were protesters, right? Why didn't they do that for January 6th? They knew it was coming. They knew there was media chatter. I mean, social media chatter about the fact that this could happen. But they didn't do anything about it because it fit their narrative.
Yep.
They needed something to beat Donald Trump about the head and shoulders with, something they could pin on him. And unfortunately, the idiots who broke into the Capitol building handed them that on a silver platter.
Mark, it's so interesting to hear you explain it that way. So what you're saying is we heard the media warning everybody about the event that was going to be happening and how bad it could be. We had that all last week. We had the United States federal government able to set up a perimeter of fencing and flood it with law enforcement. What if they treated the southern border with the exact same attention?
Imagine that.
Yeah. I mean,
they got that
who's the enemy?
Reminders.
Who's the enemy of the federal government right now? Because we see where they're putting their resources and their efforts and their attention, and we see where they certainly aren't.
Yes, it's a great point. And the people in Del Rio, that we see these 15,000 people who are staging themselves in Del Rio. That's baffling to me. I'm going to D.C. in a couple of weeks. In fact, the end of next week, to go to the Federation for American Immigration Reform Conference, and they're going to be, they're going to be Thomas Moran and some of these other folks who Mark Morgan and the other folks that were in the Trump administration are going to be there asking that question, like what are we doing here that's just so radically different than what Donald Trump was trying to do, and Americans have got to wake up. They're losing their country.
Yeah, they sure do. Well, we will be waking up with you in Marc Cox Morning Show weekdays, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. and looking forward to seeing your coverage of that weekend in Washington, D.C. And I know that people are going to want to like the Marc Cox Morning Show Facebook page because you do such great work by reporting back there. You did a wonderful job. We were so grateful for the exposure you gave the Jared Schmitz processional last week. We got tons of compliments on and gratitude from people that you were in that processional and able to bring that to individuals who were watching the stream. And we just thank you for that too, Mark. So we appreciate your efforts.
Oh, you're welcome.
We'll be tuned in next week.
My pleasure. Yeah, it was honored to be a part of it, Annie. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you again soon, Mark. Listen to you in the morning.
All right, Annie. Thanks.
Yep. Talk to you again. Let's take a quick break here. When we come back, Wiggins America is going to be taking over the studio. We'll see what he has to say. Now that he's 40, is he older and wiser? Is he just older? You don't know.
I saw him in there eating candy still. So not much has changed.
We talked a lot about Willy Wonka last. I think I know who Willy Wonka is. He's like everybody who got Ryan Wiggins a gift last week that I saw, it involved candy. I went to Ozark Land, that building on the way back from Jefferson City last night. We went in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a Ryan Wiggins mecca.
Yeah.
I bet he's been there. We'll ask him when he comes back. Stick around. More Annie Frey Show right around the corner.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get in your comfort zone with air conditioning services, repairs, or a new AC install from Air Comfort Service. They offer 24/7 emergency service too. For any air conditioning needs, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Hi, this is Lance Drury. If you have payroll tax problems, you have serious legal problems, you need an attorney. Call 314-260-6120 or toll free 888-367-6512 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Companies. If you thought you missed your chance to refinance and save, think again. Mortgage rates have recently dropped below 3%, and Rocket Mortgage can help you save big. You could lower your monthly payment and prepare yourself for a better financial future. But you've got to act now. Call us today at 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Conditions apply. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
So the Closet Factory, they are a family-owned business, and they are the most trusted custom closet provider in St. Louis. I've had them come to my house. They go on both sides of the river, Missouri, Illinois. If you're looking for organization, if you're looking for a solution to a problem area in your house, if you don't even have a place for said thing, check out the Closet Factory. They're online at closetfactory.com, and they are going to, I believe I was just talking with Candace this morning, come out to my house, or to my church, I should say, and look at our storage concerns. We're going to see how they could, what they would suggest and we'll go from there. If you were looking for an area like a closet, of course, Closet Factory can nail that. But they also do home offices. If you have settled into working from home, create a space that works for you with Closet Factory. If you are having a pantry or a kitchen situation and the storage is just ridiculous, Closet Factory can help you with that as well. Check out all of the different things that they can do for you online at their website at closetfactory.com.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness 101 for many years, Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 3 times a week. Yes, 3 times every weekend. Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common-sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness 101, now 3 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, healthcare, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Want your shot at winning 10 grand? Then you need to become a Missouri VIP. Missouri's vaccination incentive program is here. And a total of 900 vaccinated Missourians over the age of 12 will win $10,000 in 5 random drawings from August to October. To enter with the secure online form and see a complete list of rules, visit mostopscovid.com/win today. Get vaccinated and get your shot at winning 10 grand.
Ricky's Compass is a 501c3 nonprofit focused on shattering the stigma that surrounds mental health. And they want to give you a platform to share your mental health journey. Visit rickyscompass.org today and shatter the stigma that surrounds mental illness.
The Odyssey app. The Odyssey app. Download it today and stream anytime from anywhere where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. The place for ideas. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Wish that I was on a rocky top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoky smoke up on Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bills. Once I had a girl on old Rocky Top, half bear, the other half cat. Wild as a mink, but sweet as soda pop, I still dream about that. Rocky Top.
Hey, it's hard to interrupt this. It's just this music through my soul. I'm going to talk a little bit more later in the show, maybe in the 2 o'clock hour, and Ryan comes back in about my experience at the bicentennial inaugural ball in Jefferson City. But the Duttons play. Do you know who the Duttons are?
I've heard of the Duttons.
The Duttons, they have a show in Branson.
Yeah.
And they finished in the top 10 on America's Got Talent.
Recently?
Yes.
Within the last 25 years, you mean?
Since the show has been on the television.
Right.
It doesn't matter. They're really, really amazing. Like, I love a good Branson show. You go to Branson, you get in the Branson mood, you know? And then you just take what Branson throws at you and you love it because it's Branson. The Duttons were in Jefferson City and they killed it. And Rocky Top and that kind of music is what I've had in my brain since then. So I'm sharing it with you today. But right now, it's Wiggins America.
Wiggins!
Oh, Wiggins! So we listen to tropical music.
So you guys
like
stop. So you guys like polls, right? You love polls?
This is Wiggins America.
The best. Polls are the
That's
best.
right. So how about this one? This is a poll that I found from Minneapolis. Deep blue Minneapolis, of course. It's not the whole state.
Hold on. Alan says on Facebook, Annie, now that he is a big shot with his own show, you better be nicer to Ryan or he will take his shiny new ball, Wiggins America, and go home.
Well,
that sounds like an option.
That's possible.
Big shot.
But what I'll do, I won't go home.
Your
what
own
I'll do
show?
is
When is it?
Saturday mornings.
When?
6 to 8.
What radio station?
This one right here.
Oh,
can you believe that?
No.
If it was on a different one, I don't think I'd mention it here.
It's on the hip hop station.
Yeah.
There's only one show.
There's only one show that talks about conservative politics
Get Dina
here
to
on
see on
America's
that.
R&B.
Yeah. When? 6 to
8 a.m. a.m.
Mm.
a.m. Yeah, thank you for letting me clarify.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate that. So what we'll do, though, is if you don't treat me respectfully, as that listener said, I won't say anything here. I'll laugh. We'll have a good time. But then Saturday mornings, it's just going to be all about
trashing
you.
Annie.
Yeah.
It's Wiggins America, dang it.
I
wanted
know
to
that you're
say dang
not.
it.
I know that you're not a morning person, so you will not be
That's
listening.
rude and true.
The real question is are you listening to it?
Of course.
You're getting up at 6 a.m. to listen to it?
Heck yes.
I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know if I believe that, but absolutely I am.
Right here in 97.1.
So this poll is from Minneapolis.
talking about
yeah, we're
polls.
still talking about polls.
Tried to derail it.
And it's about defund the police because they're trying to go through their city council right now to defund and change the police. It's on everybody's minds because that's, of course, where it all started with George Floyd last summer. So here's the question that it starts with.
Last summer. That seems like longer ago.
Doesn't it?
Isn't 2020 like a black hole in your brain?
So sort of, but it still feels like 2020.
Yeah.
It feels like we've never left that era yet.
Maybe that's why, because it's still happening. Because
Yeah.
you can kind of compartmentalize years. I don't have a slot for 2020 yet.
2019 seems like eons ago.
It's because it was a different time.
It really was. It's sad. We don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about this other sad thing.
Let's talk about defund the police instead.
Yeah. So this is polling Minneapolis, probably St. Paul voters, which are very, very deep blue. That's the whole reason the state of Minnesota is still blue, is just because of Minneapolis. The question was, would you support reducing the size of your police force? And they broke this down by race just to see. 33% of white voters said yes. Take a guess as how many black voters said yes?
Less than that.
Yep.
14%.
Yes.
Want to actually reduce the size of their own
I am
police force.
so sick and tired and disgusted at the virtue selling industry that we are in right now. If you put a Black Lives Matter sign in your front yard so somebody thinks better than you, of you, you're doing it wrong. The sign is not making you virtuous.
Yes.
How do you act? What do you do? Maybe, I mean, you talking before about how multiple things can be true at one time. Maybe you do have an engagement in that industry, but you don't get to accessorize your front yard or your car bumper so that people think you're a good person. That actually makes you a worse person if you don't back it up with your action.
Well, and to that, when you defund the police, you're actually taking resources out of communities that need resources. So like calling to defund the police is actually going to in turn hurt your community,
but it's
and hurt other
trendy.
communities, but it's trendy. And in that virtue signaling, it makes you sound like you're standing for something when really what you're standing for is taking resources out of a community that needs them the most.
I accidentally watched SNL for a little bit this weekend.
Who's the host?
Dave Chappelle,
Oh.
which is why I watched it.
Mhm.
And then we found out like halfway through it was a rerun.
Yeah.
But he does a skit. He's in a skit where it's Alec Baldwin and two other white people, and they're firing Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, and then Dave Chappelle plays the Allstate guy. It's so funny. But but they did like a voice modifier on Dave
So he does
Chappelle.
the real deep
So
voice?
yeah, there's a really deep voice. He's like, but you're in good hands. But like the whole point of the skit, it was really funny. And I'm like, SNL, look at you go. It was a rerun. And it was apparently the one like right after the election, whatever. So they were really trashing hard on Trump, and then we changed the channel. But the whole point of it was white people firing black people because like Aunt Jemima is sitting there by the character Maya Rudolph plays her, I think. And it's like
They bring back all these people around on the show anymore.
and she's explaining like, but I make great pancakes and they're so fluffy and buttery and like all of the good things about their product. But they're like basically like, but you're black, so we have to fire you. And it's absurd, but it's kind of true. And then they go to Uncle, like, why are we getting rid of these characters? And they actually say in there, like, because you make us feel bad about what we did.
Yeah. And they're not even the same caricatures they used to be.
No.
They've been updated long ago to be modern people.
Yes.
But it's like, we feel bad about it.
But that poll right there, which I hate polls, but for the sake of this conversation, is a very good indicator of you've got white people who are hearing this is what we should do because somebody's selling that to them. So they're selling it back in turn. And you've got black people, less than half of percentage of black people to white people are saying, no, don't do that.
And it's more than double the amount of white people, white Democrats mainly, telling black people, no, this is better for you. And the black people apparently are saying, no, that's not what we want. I mean, that's what this poll, there's a whole bunch more info here. Like 50% of white voters support replacing the entire police department with a new Department of Public Safety, which is basically the same
police
thing.
Department.
Yes. I had all these stuff about what actually the Department of Public Safety is. It's basically the same thing.
Oh, man.
But it's all virtue. It all makes everybody feel better, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for a moment.
Yeah.
And you've got a media and politicians who are selling this way of thinking and selling people a feeling of doing something when in turn what they're actually doing is consolidating power in government, handing it to somebody else and hurting people. My goodness. Let's talk to Stephen Moore about the economy when we come back, and we'll have a bright spot. Or not. Don't look at the Dow right now.
Del Walmsley here. The first thing you're going to have to learn is until you stop expecting the politicians or anyone else to change your life isn't going to change. The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, the Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
You could be on your way to a better lifestyle and experience the life of your dreams. Tune in to the Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins. Weeknights at 7, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Marc Cox here. Guys, let Victory Men's Health help you regain your vitality by optimizing your hormones, vitamins, and sexual health. Victory Men's Health has the most cutting-edge technologies to treat ED. They have wave therapy. Listen, this is the biggest advancement for men with ED since the launch of Viagra. That's pretty incredible. They do the treatments in their office. Victory Men's Health offers wave therapy in both their Illinois and Missouri location. Check them out online today at victorymenshealth.com. This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Marc Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
The Fit and Food Connection builds strong minds and healthy bodies, providing education and healthy food to those in need. Join their annual Day of Wellness, Sunday, October 3rd at their Project Sunflower Organic Garden. Learn more and make your contribution to healthier communities at fitandfoodconnection.org.
Barbecue is back. The 6th annual Q in the Lou Barbecue Festival returns October 1st through the 3rd to Keener Plaza in downtown St. Louis. Enjoy award-winning barbecue from pitmasters from across the country. There'll be live music and cooking demos. Q in the Lou is free to enter. Barbecue, drinks, and more will be available for purchase, or upgrade your experience with a Q in the Lou Pit Pass and enjoy 2.5 hours of all you can eat and drink. Visit qinthelu.com for information.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
A school shooting in Virginia. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Police in Newport News now confirm that 2 people were shot at Heritage High School, but say the injuries are believed to be non-life-threatening. They also say reports of active shooters at other schools in the city are not true. The FBI assisting in the investigation at Heritage High. No word yet on a motive or a suspect. Students were being sent home early. A veteran officer is dead. Another hospitalized after a shootout as they served a warrant this morning in Houston. The suspect they were trying to arrest was shot and killed. Mayor Sylvester Turner calls it a tragic day.
It is another reminder that police work is inherently dangerous. And you never know, police officers never know what they're going to face when they leave their homes during the course of their duty.
The officer killed, William Jeffrey, had been a cop for 31 years. The Harris County Sheriff's Department is investigating. The White House says President Biden supports a full investigation of the drone strike mistake that killed as many as 10 civilians last month in Afghanistan, and that he was briefed Friday morning before CENTCOM's public announcement, but that he still has confidence in over-the-horizon counterterrorism capabilities now that U.S. troops are out of Afghanistan. A patchwork of restrictions on foreign travel to the U.S. will begin easing in November, but air travelers will now have to show proof of vaccination and a negative COVID test.
Vaccines continue to show that they're highly effective, including against the Delta variant.
White House COVID response coordinator Jeff Zients says it's a public health decision, though it does not apply to land borders. Pfizer says its COVID vaccine works for children ages 5 to 11 after testing a lower dose on more than 2,000 kids. They now plan to seek authorization to use it. New York City announces weekly random testing on unvaccinated students. America is listening to Fox News.
To you, my love, my heart I surrender just as soon as I deal with yonder fender bender. 'Cause my ice cream truck is the way I make cash, so I'll buy you a ring when I lose this dress rash.
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but at least Progressive Commercial saves you money with personalized discounts. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I'm gonna make you so happy sometime next year, I hope.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Seesaw temperatures this week. The warmest day this afternoon. Mix of clouds and sunshine, maybe a spot shower. Tough to find. 88, though, for the high. Tonight, increasing showers, a couple of thunderstorms, mainly late night, 65. Tuesday, a mix of clouds and sunshine, some showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the morning on Tuesday. It's cooler, 75 the high, 72 the high, 72 Wednesday and Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com and join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, healthfromwithinstl.com.
I heard the COVID-19 vaccine
And the thing I heard about the vaccine...
Sure, but do we really know about the long-term effects?
Did you read that thing on the internet?
He heard from his cousin that they don't...
Okay, you're hearing a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines these days. So how do you find out if getting vaccinated is right for you? By talking to someone you already trust, your doctor or healthcare provider. They'll answer your questions so you can decide what's best for you and your family. Go to getvaccineanswers.org to find out more. That's getvaccineanswers.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
If your home needs an upgrade, don't get frustrated. Get solutions. Call Lakeside Renovation and Design to transform your space into the home of your dreams. Our custom carpentry work has been wowing homeowners for over 20 years. Whether you want a deck or porch, a gorgeous sunroom, a remodeled basement, or more, our award-winning team does it all with in-house skilled carpenters. We even stand behind our work with a lifetime workmanship warranty. Request a free consultation at 636-978-5000. You'll love your home all all over again.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel, and host of On the Money, heard every Saturday morning at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Nearly every week, our team meets with clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion on your retirement plan today. When you work with us at the ClearPath Wealth Management Group, we're committed to providing you with guidance that's in your best interest, no exceptions. To request your free consultation, contact us at bobstockdale.com. That's bobstockdale.com. Again, that's bobstockdale.com. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
It's always smart to shop at Diamonds Direct, but right now it's smarter than ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing and no money down on any purchase. No kidding. It's the best offer ever. Keep your money and finance the entire purchase, even the tax, for 5 years without paying a dime in interest. Get a $10,000 certified diamond for only $168 a month. It's definitely the smart way to buy, so don't miss it. On approved credit. Details at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. I live in 270 at City Place.
This is Marc Cox inviting you to check out Odyssey's exclusive music stations like Wake Up and Rock. Hey, that sounds like a good segment for my show. Every station is at your fingertips using the Odyssey app.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, River Views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not married sweetheart.
This is the Annie
It is
Frey Show.
disastrous. Whether it passes or not will depend on 50 Democrats in the Senate. Do they get Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema to go along? I can tell you Chuck Schumer is putting a world of hurt and pressure on the two of them. I hope they stand their ground, that they have demonstrated some real courage so far, standing up to the crazies in their party.
The crazies in their party, they're Senator Ted Cruz, talking about his colleagues Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, both who have said that they want to limit the spending that is in this $3.5 trillion spending bill. Many people put it over the course of time much more, much bigger than that. And we're hearing more things be thrown out there right now about what they've tried to get in, what the parliamentarian has said no to. And then I stumbled upon this headline last night on Twitter. So I'm just consuming it in my Twitter timeline. And it says Biden pushes back at Democrats on taxes. And I go, oh, maybe this is the moment. This is the unifying moment we've been hearing about from President Biden since his inaugural speech. And I read into this article a little bit, and it turns out that President Biden is pushing to prevent congressional Democrats from scaling back his tax proposals, and he wants them to tax more. So the moderate headline written in The Hill is really actually President Biden wanting more and bigger tax increases. Stephen Moore joins us now. Always great to have the senior economic contributor at Freedomworks on with us. Stephen, every week we talk about this spending bill. We get a little closer to something, but I'm not 100% sure what the Democrats are going to be able to achieve here.
Well, it's a big mess right now. I mean, this is, in my opinion, the worst bill in the history of the United States, or at least in the last 50 years of my lifetime. Wow. This bill is atrocious. It massively increases tax rates, and our tax rates would be higher than those of China. For goodness sakes, they're a communist country, and we're going to have higher tax rates than China. It is the Green New Deal. It destroys the American energy revolution that we've seen in coal and natural gas and oil in this country. It would take a big step towards nationalizing our healthcare system. It would require people to join unions. It has an assault on small businesses with the big 40% tax at death on family-owned businesses. I mean, I could go on and on. But what's really interesting, the latest development on this, is the Democrats can't pass any of this until they pass a debt ceiling increase. Now, this is something that, for 100 years, whenever the Congress has to raise the debt, they have to raise a debt ceiling. It's like the credit card limit, right, on your credit card. And the big play right now in Washington is the Democrats and the media are trying to shame the Republicans into voting for this debt ceiling increase when, all they've done for the last 6 months is act like one party rule. Now they're coming hand in glove to the Republicans. Say, oh, please join us in voting for a debt ceiling increase. Any Republican who votes for that is crazy. They would be aiding and abetting this gigantic, debt bill that could bankrupt our country. If you add all the spending together, the normal budget of $6 trillion they want, plus the $5 trillion bill that they're now debating, plus the $1 trillion infrastructure, plus the $1.9 trillion. I know your head is spinning right now, right?
Lots.
Add all that up, it's $11 to $12 trillion.
Oh, man. Stephen Moore joining us right now with Freedomworks. I am repeating in my head over and over and over again Joe Biden's commitment to the American people, should he get elected, and since he's been elected, that he would not increase taxes on people earning less than $400,000 a year. Is he committed? Is he keeping with that promise today?
Well, here's the other. I mean, we could talk for 2 hours about this bill, but one of the interesting developments is the Democrats don't want to tell us what's in the bill. It's going to be by some estimates, 5 to 6 to 7,000 pages long, and they're trying to hide it from the American people because they're stuffing it right now. What's going on right now is a feeding frenzy of lobbyists to put everything they possibly can stash in this bill. There's special interest provisions for the unions. There's special interest provisions for, the green energy sector, for journalists, for any group that gave money to the Democrats, they're rewarded in this bill. It's a classic pay to play. So when you ask me, like, what's going to be in the bill, I can't tell you because they won't tell us. And by the way, if they're so proud of it, why are they keeping it secret?
No kidding. And making it so massive that nobody will ever completely read this bill. You talk about special interest groups. What about the voters who elected Joe Biden with promises of what he wouldn't do to middle income earners? I mean, if those special interests get their way, there's no way that middle income is going to stay safe.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. I never actually answered your question. You're right. So what about this pledge of not taxing people that make less than $400,000? What we know so far about right now, the Ways and Means Committee, which is the tax writing committee in Congress. And as you know from your Constitution, where do all tax bills have to start? In the House, right? So the House is writing this bill, and they're trying to keep it secret, but there have been some leaks. They want a carbon tax, which is basically just a tax on using energy. So anytime you turn the ignition on your car or turn on a light bulb, you're going to pay that tax. And by the way, I think it's people who make less than $400,000 who do that. Mm-hmm. So, and then they want a tobacco tax. They want a vaping tax. They want a tax. One of my favorite ones. They want to put a device on your car to track how many miles you drive, and then tax you on the basis of that. Again, middle-class people own cars in the United States. I guess Joe Biden and the Democrats don't understand that. But they think, by the way, one of my favorite special interest provisions, they want to give people a $7,500 payment if they buy an electric vehicle like a Tesla. And by the way, if you resell it, you get another $2,500. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah. To me, it's similar to the senseless act of overcompensating people to stay at home from work and take their money as opposed to going to work and make their money.
Well, that's the other big, part of this bill. Thank you for bringing that up. So, back in 1996, Bill Clinton signed a welfare reform bill, which was really historic. It was bipartisan. It was something that Newt Gingrich and the Republicans had pushed, but many Democrats were on board that. We passed welfare reform, which basically said, we're going to give you a safety net. We're going to take the safety net away, but you're going to have to either be working or you have to be looking for a job or an education or being trained for a job. You can't just sit home and watch Netflix. And that was a great success, by the way, one of the most important social policy achievements of your and my lifetime. We got half of the people off of welfare into a job, and they actually climbed the economic ladder of success. Guess what? They want to get rid of all that. So you don't have to. There's no more time limits. There's no more work requirements. It's just basically sign up for all the benefits. You can get $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 of all these benefits. It's just craziness.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Stephen Moore, senior economic contributor at Freedomworks, talking to us right now. I'm sure you managed to see the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez Met Gala dress, tax the rich. And we hear this phrase all the time, fair share. How balanced or unbalanced is it right now? Should we be taxing the rich more? Isn't it time that they pay their fair share of taxes in this country?
Well, look, I mean, I'm still waiting for that moment that you show up in the Met with a "I love capitalism" dress. Okay,
hey, if they want to invite me and someone wants to spot me tens of thousands of dollars,
I'll get you invited. Okay.
Amen.
Do you have $35,000 to pay for the ticket?
I have $35 if they'll let me in for that.
Well, we're not the glitterati like AOC. You know, she really loves the the poor. What's the old saying? She loves the poor so much she'd have us all be poor.
Yeah. She likes the photo op. That's
ridiculous.
What she likes.
Yeah, I mean, look, tax the rich, tax the rich. This was the speech that Biden gave last Wednesday or Thursday. It was one of the worst speeches. It wasn't a speech, it was a press conference, but he went on and on about soak it to the rich, sock it to the rich, eat the rich. It reminded me of that scene from the last Batman movie with Bane, where Bane said, Manhattan is in complete chaos. Gotham City is being ransacked by looters and stuff. And he's giving the speech, kill the rich, kill the rich. That's what our country is turning into. Look, I think everybody should pay their fair share, of course. I've always been a flat tax guy. I love the idea. Get rid of all the loopholes. I mean, if there's somebody who's not paying their taxes, yeah, they should pay their taxes. How they do it? By the way, who do you think wrote the tax code of the last 40 years?
The lobbyists and the rich people? I don't know.
And Joe Biden. I mean, he was there. If this tax code is so bad, why didn't he do anything about it, right?
He needed 50 years so that he could actually get in there and get something done. It blows my mind. Either way, right now with this, what the Democrats are trying to do in Washington, D.C., one of two things has to be true. Either they feel they have a mandate from the American people to get something done like this, or they feel like if they don't get it done now before 2022 hits, they're never going to get it done. Do you feel one way or the other about how these Democrats are making their decisions?
I'm heading up a coalition. We announced it on Friday called Save the Country, Kill the Bill. And it's basically on, all the horrible features of this bill. And one of the things we have to do to kill this bill is to delay. That Democrats are on a huge hurry to pass this because, look, they see the meltdown in Biden. Biden, is at 42% approval rating right now. He's, the Democrats, they've got a crisis at the border. They've got a crisis with inflation. They got a crisis with COVID. They've got a crisis in Afghanistan. I mean, everything they've touched, they've ruined. Gee, what a shock that Democrats are not very good at running things. And so they realize this window is slamming shut on them. So they literally want to get this thing passed. Do you remember what Nancy Pelosi said about Obamacare?
Yeah, I got to pass a bill so they could see what's in it. It's terrifying.
Well, they want to try that ruse again. We'll find out what's in that bill after we pass it. So how about this for a theme to kill the bill? How about read the bill? How about read it? Is that asking so much? By the way, when is the last time you read a 5,000 page book?
Yeah, that's not happened. That's not happening.
I mean, so no, seriously, how many of these members of Congress do you think are going to read a 5,000 page bill?
None of them.
Zero. This is how we make laws in this country. It is absurd. So, I think Joe Manchin, the Democrat, has it right. He said, what's the hurry here? Let's have a strategic pause. Let's figure out what's in the bill, what we need, what's not. Get rid of all the special, and let's not raise taxes on American businesses. Let's not do that. Why are we doing that? Why are we punishing our successful businesses?
Especially right now, coming out of a pandemic where everybody is trying to get their footing, and maybe they had a little government help along the way in a crisis. But it seems like right now, punishing people who need to be employing individuals is not the way to go.
Yeah. All right. I got to jump on Fox News now. So turn on your TV and you'll see my beautiful face.
Of course. You can't see that on the radio. We appreciate it, Stephen. We'll let you go.
Always a pleasure.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Senior economic contributor at Freedomworks, Stephen Moore, right there. His effort, he said, is save the country, kill the bill. I mean, it seems to me that this is so disorganized, the way that it's being put together. And that's such a consistency with this administration. I ask myself, is it purposeful? If you make the bill so massive and you make it so complicated and convoluted, who's going to have time for that? And if you have the power right now in the legislature and a barely physically present president, you can maybe squeak this through. I think Stephen Moore is spot on. Stall. Take as much time as we possibly can. Get us as close to the heart of election season and the 2022 election to try to stop this massive overreach of spending. Quick break. When we come back, more conversation here on the Annie Frey Show. I want to invite you personally to come check out the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Go see what we're doing there. You can watch the radio show. It's Annie Frey on YouTube, and you'll see that we're live right there. Also on Facebook Live at facebook.com/Annie Frey Show. And if you're one of those few people who like to use Twitch, go find Annie Frey Show on Twitch. We're there right now, too. Stick around. More Annie Frey Show in a minute.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
George Weber, if you want music on the radio like it used to be, where the DJs played what they wanted and then talked about it, tune in to my alter ego, Skip Weber, every Saturday night at 9 p.m. on the Saturday Evening Rock Show, the greatest music show on a talk station in the world.
Petland in Lake St. Louis is a pet lover's dream. Marc Cox here. You need to go see my friends Tom and Mary and Jeff out there at Petland at 6131 Ronald Reagan Drive in Lake St. Louis. Anything you can imagine for your pet, they've got. It's a 9,000 square foot facility, recently remodeled, and on the back wall, they've got puppies. They work with only the top breeders in the state of Missouri, and you can apply for financing right online. Check them out today at petlandstl.com.
Owning a business comes with pressure. There's a limit to what I can do and still keep employees engaged. Fortunately, there's Insperity. They put 30 plus years of HR experience to work to help me with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance, while giving my employees competitive benefit options. And because I'm able to focus on other priorities, my employees can thrive and my business can grow. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
How is your mental health? Billie Eilish, Kevin Love of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Imagine Dragons, Lil Nas X, and so many more feel the same pressures we do. They're joining our host, Carson Daly, for I'm Listening, September 23rd, starting at 6 p.m. right here. Carson and a cast of mental health experts, athletes, musicians, other notables, and you will share stories, insights, and help us all remember we are not alone. Talking about our mental health has the power to save lives. For more, visit imlistening.org.
I'm Listening, Thursday, September 23rd from 6 till 8 p.m. right here on 97.1 FM Talk and the Odyssey app.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for ThrottleNet, and if you need new IT service and you're a small business owner, or you just need better IT service, why wouldn't you check out ThrottleNet? They won Best in Customer Service from Small Business Monthly this past January, Best in Cybersecurity in Small Business Monthly in February. Ransomware has been huge, unfortunately, on the rise through the pandemic, and ThrottleNet has saved clients $2.6 million in ransom. So they protect against ransomware by providing a tool set that provides cybersecurity training for employees, identifying and quarantining an infected machine from the network, and the equipment will recover in less than 24 hours. Take advantage of a great offer. The first 30 days with ThrottleNet are free. There's no onboarding fees if you leave in the first 30 days. ThrottleNet will pay you $1,000 for your trouble. And after the first 30 days, no contracts, they're month to month. Check out ThrottleNet online. Use the 97.1 connection, throttlenet.com/971. Throttlenet.com/971. Get started today.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, Board and Batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today. Ask about winter promotions.
What can give you a competitive edge in today's red-hot housing market? Rocket can. That's because Rocket Mortgage can give you a verified approval. It could help your offer stand out. Rocket Technology provides a rock-solid verification of your income, assets, and credit, giving sellers greater confidence in you. Go to rocketmortgage.com or call us today at 8338-ROCKET. Rocket.
A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information, appraisal, and title report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you have heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple on the station as the financial expert for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend on 97.1 FM Talk. And in case you miss any of those shows, on his podcasts on Odyssey.com and search Safe Money 97.1. So call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Up-to-the-minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Baby, let's cruise
away from the heat.
Don't be confused.
The way is clear.
And if you want it, you got it forever.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I'm just playing a lot of music today that apparently I want to listen to. It's more than me.
What is this?
This is a song called Cruise, and it is by Gwyneth Paltrow. And
it's from that movie.
It is from a movie. Is it Brian? It's not Bryan Adams, is it?
No, it's Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Huey Lewis. Yes.
This song sounds really good in my headphones. I bet it doesn't
sounds
sound nearly as good on the radio, though.
No, it sounds good on the radio.
Well,
It's a good vibe. And I like that it's Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, I like her voice in that. It's perfectly suited for it. It's not anything, she's no Celine Dion, but she didn't need to be.
No, I love her moisturizers.
I actually hate Gwyneth Paltrow, but
that
song was very pleasant.
It's my favorite thing about her.
It's the bass line.
That one song is your favorite thing about her.
It's the bass line. The bass line, the groove is so good.
Yeah, it sounds way older than 10 years ago.
I love
because it's Huey Lewis.
Yeah. Well, though the bass line it sounds like it's like a late 60s sort of like mild funk
Motown.
So I feel like it's 2021 and we're really missing an opportunity to be in the 20s again. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fashion, music, fun.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Let's
do
that again.
We were actually, my friends and I are talking about having a murder mystery party. Have you ever heard of this? Where like a crew will come to your home
and murder somebody.
And murder somebody and then blame it on one of you.
Can you imagine a murder mystery organized by Ryan Wiggins?
The only ones I've ever been to
your house.
That's the scariest kind.
The only ones I've ever been to were in college, and they were like themed, where you had to dress up as some sort of character, but they gave you the character ahead of time. They would always give me.
So this is what we're talking about doing. We're talking about doing a 20s themed, like the flapper girl
Yes.
and the like walking around with like the cigarette holders, even if you're not smoking, and the like the headbands, and
the fake cigarettes where you blow like little powder out of them.
Mm-hmm. It's like little puffs of air. But in the 20s. So if we just want to bring back the 20s, I think that'd be great too.
Have you guys ever done that? Been to one?
No.
Because we went, my wife and I and some of our friends went to one at the Spaghetti Factory.
Oh, that'd be
And
that'd be cool.
it was like, it wasn't themed, but all of the characters were spoofs on famous characters. So like my friend was Doobie Doo.
Oh.
So he had to do a Scooby-Doo voice, and it was amazing. He won at the end, and they gave him canned ham.
Oh, nice.
Congrats, Doobs.
I think that sounds like my worst nightmare, going to one of those. Don't spit your coffee out, Trisha.
It would be.
I mean,
you're not wrong about that.
How much any of you know about me? Let's get it dressed up and go to a murder mystery at the Spaghetti Factory. I'm like, I will be at the corner table at the Spaghetti Factory, eating some butter noodles with Mazithra cheese and enjoying myself. And you guys do you. But no, I don't know.
So fun to me.
As you know, whenever I would get a line in those things, when my wife and I were first married, we went to a couple of those.
How many times have you been married?
I don't know.
The first
over
time,
the last how many years? When we were first married, we were going to a couple of these things and having fun because she's a drama teacher and she's really into that world. And she's like,
So
"Oh, if
you're
they
just
give you
like,
any
she's
lines,
just super dramatic.
yeah, my daughter is." They would give us lines. They'd give me, maybe one line.
Mhm.
I was like, Katie, I'm going to make the most out of this one line, which is the exact opposite of what you would do. I know you'd be like, I don't even want it. This one line.
No. I know I do have a 3-hour talk show, but I do not want to talk in that capacity.
But we went to
Don't
one
wanna
on
do it.
vacation. It was like, oh man, we're on vacation. Let's go to one while we're in. I think we were in Virginia doing Williamsburg. We went to one that was supposed to be like, oh, it's amazing. And you show up and it is like community theater and nobody in the audience participated. You just watched a murder mystery play like on a high school stage. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
I
No
like
participation.
I like escape rooms.
You do?
Yeah, but that's requires problem solving and thinking.
Yeah, and
And
no
outsmarting
acting.
things.
Yeah, that's just
I don't
like
have to
a
pretend
puzzle.
to be somebody. It's way different.
Do you like
I
them to
like
be
it
so
all.
immersive that it's like, oh, this is real?
We went to
We're in a
one
world.
in
It's like
Soulard.
the opening scene of Saw. There's a guy on the floor.
I've never seen
It's a real
any
body.
Saw.
That guy's moving.
Is he dead? Is he not dead? Who knows?
No, he's cute.
It's
When you're going to an escape room in downtown St. Louis.
Yeah.
you really
That's
never know.
not a part of this.
Get him out of here. That's not good.
You said it, not me.
I know. I shouldn't have. I'm out of practice. Can somebody give me a filter in here?
Let's talk about defund the police.
We did the one in Soulard and it was so fun. And it was very like the one we started on. Are they still there? I assume they're still there. I'm gonna look them up because I would be happy to promote them.
I think they were doing the one over like where the darkness is. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe there's still an active escape room there.
The one we did started out in like a subway car, and it starts you out where everybody has to buckle in a seat. So you have to figure out how to get your seats unbuckled before you can do
cool.
anything. And it had 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the progression was between 5 rooms, and you had an
Wow.
hour to get out.
That's impressive.
And it was very immersive. And I've also done ones that are in like
Yeah, me too.
like offices.
Yeah.
That's the
and
kind I did. In
I
a room.
I mean, I need to find out where this place is because if they're still doing it, it was really, really cool. And it was not easy. It wasn't like
Mhm.
and the things that you'd have to do to get from one thing to the next were immersive. And like I said, when you're starting out strapped into a seat, that's kind of a cool it's just like that. But I like those. No parts where I'm role playing.
I think I missed out. I missed that boat a little bit because the first one I ever did, I was producing a show called The Thread with Tim Ezzell and Virginia Kerr. When it first started, I was a part of that show. And the first
What
episode,
happened?
well,
Let's talk about that
just
show.
like my many
And now we're
marriages.
here.
I was having a rough
first
time.
started-
I was in between my second and third marriage with my wife.
And then this fella,
I
Tim
acted out.
Ezzell, came along and changed my life forever. What a honeymoon we had. And I mean that as a period of time, not a literal honeymoon, you guys.
Which
so-
is confusing when you're talking
when
about
you're-
marriages. That's not what you were referring to. But
That's
carry
right.
on.
No, this is on you. So
Naturally.
we for the first episode of the show, we went to an escape room. Well, I had never done one before. So we showed up and, we're trying to make a piece out of this. Well, the people who are running it are not necessarily in the places they normally are telling you what you should do. So I got to see nothing but the behind the scenes of an escape room. And I was like, oh, this is what happens. And it was really like cool, but it took away the mystique of
Sure,
it.
yeah.
So I never really got into them after that because I kind of saw what happens behind.
Do you guys
room.
do haunted houses or like maybe at a period in your life? Would you do haunted houses?
In high school, I did just because that's what everybody did.
Did you like them?
No.
Were you scared?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a no. I'm a hell no.
Have you ever done them?
Yes, it's terrifying. I don't like it. I won't do it.
Pastor?
No, I don't like them.
Because they're scary?
No, I just don't like them.
You just don't like them?
I don't like walking through the dark and like uneven floors.
And plus
stuff
paying
like
for
that.
it.
People jumping out at
$20.
Yeah.
We're gonna scare the pants off of you.
It's fun to laugh at people when they get scared, though.
Yeah. Yeah. In general.
Yeah.
We would go when I was in high school, senior. That's like what you did.
Of course.
If you could drive during Halloween, maybe into college a little bit, but it seems to me like that's around the 16 to maybe 20 crowd.
Yep.
Before you can
That
drink.
sounds right.
And I realized it wasn't until I was, I think, 17 years old first real haunted house that I went through, not just like a local,
at the haunted hayride at the picnic up
No,
the road.
like
real haunted house, like there were there were murders in the house.
Ghosts,
No, that was the escape room.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm going. We went to Soulard and we're going through this haunted house, and I realized that I cope with fear with humor.
You laugh.
I've never. No, I'd like make jokes. Like I've never been funnier in my whole life
Oh,
than when
yeah?
I was going through a haunted house, and like I was totally trying to get. I was scared, but I was trying to make people laugh and make myself less scared by using humor. And we had 4 girls, I think. I'm pretty sure it was 4 of us. And when you're going through these haunted houses, sometimes the halls are wider, sometimes they're just one person wide or whatever. We were going through this one corridor, and generally when you go into a haunted house, you kind of appoint like who's going to be the leader, the brave. Like I do this all the time. That you're going first. It's equally, if not more, scary to be the trailer. The person in the back.
Be solidly in the middle.
Yes.
Wedged in.
Yes.
Arms around you.
I didn't want to be the front of the back.
No.
So I was 2 or 3 in this line of people. But once you get in there and you're running for your life from people, sometimes it doesn't go according to plan. And sometimes when you're not supposed to be the last person in line, you become the last person in line. And in this particular instance, we turned a corner and we went down this corridor that was just one person wide, and the 3 girls I was with sprinted forward and left me to the back, and I was running like maybe 8 feet behind them, and the actor thought that we had all passed, and he opened the door to creep up behind us, and I face planted right into the door. And for the rest of the time I was like, your jerk friend back there, he just hit me in the face with a door. And so all these people were all dressed up so creepy, like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry, are you okay? Like instantly breaking character to apologize to me. Like that's how I did the last part of it. But I mean, like seriously, smacked me, made me fall back because they thought that we had all passed, and most definitely not all of us had.
That seems like a gift they gave you, though, because once you get smacked in the face, you're not as scared anymore.
I was ready to fight the zombies.
Now you're angry and in pain, and they're apologizing. It just like changes the power dynamic.
Yes, it totally did. So if you go in there, get hurt,
get whacked in the face,
and then scare them with a lawsuit.
I'm in the first room and I'm yelling, I've got heart problems.
Ow! My arm!
Stop my toe!
No, the key is to get about 75% of the way through, then get hurt, then demand a refund. I think that's actually why I didn't like haunted houses.
It all comes. That's the second time that you've mentioned the cost of said experiment.
No, I specifically remember being in high school and going with a group of people, and I was like, I don't really want to do these things, but all the people are doing it, and there's cute girls there, so I went. So
it's always good to put yourself in positions to be terrified.
Yeah.
With cute girls around,
I know,
but have to act like a macho man.
Right. Which can you imagine me in high school?
Do you have a really high? Do you have a really high pitched scream?
I don't know about anymore. I'm over 40, as you know.
Is it lower?
Well over 40 now.
As you get older,
yeah, you were in your 40s.
Goes away.
So we should try to scare Ryan Wiggins and see what his scream sounds like.
Okay.
Between now and Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm open to that because I can't figure out how you're going to do that.
I'm not really asking
on
you.
Air.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh no,
on video.
You won't see it coming.
Okay, on video.
Yeah.
So I'll be somewhere like walking through my office or in the bathroom, and you're going to open the door.
Or at home, or in your car.
You pass me the toilet paper.
If I'm on the toilet and you open the door, I promise I will scream. Please don't video that, though.
So will I.
Please, what are you doing?
This is terrifying.
This is inappropriate. HR!
Bridget, we're going to need you to... This is Gwyneth Paltrow and Huey Lewis. Take us away. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get in your comfort zone this summer with 0% financing for 72 months plus double utility rebates on qualifying new HVAC systems. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Have you got a sweet tooth?
Hi there, Brian Fritz with Fritz's Frozen Custard. Did you know at Fritz's, we offer a different flavor of the day each day of the week? With flavors like peanut butter cookie dough, coffee toffee, and yellow cake batter, your next favorite flavor is just a day away. Visit one of our 5 locations and pick up a quart of your favorite flavor for the entire family to try. We look forward to seeing you and your family at Fritz's.
It's the best of the town, so you better get around. Fritz's Frozen Custard. Yeah!
When you see your neighbor's home sell in days and interest rates at historic lows, why would you ever pay more than 4? I'm Christina Straight with Straight Realty. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. I hear from people all the time saying they want to sell their home, but they're nervous about being able to find a home in this crazy market. If that's you, then let's talk, and together we can build a plan. I'm Christina Straight with Straight Realty. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
It's time to get back together. Back to group hugs and group hangs. Dining in with family and going out with friends. But to get back to the things we love safely, we need to get vaccinated. COVID-19 vaccines are free and proven effective. But if you still have questions, that's okay. It's your choice. Go to mostopscovid.com or call 877-435-8411 to get answers and find a vaccine near you. Because we're stronger together.
Hello? How would you like to turn $10 into $10,000 overnight?
Wouldn't we all? Don't be fooled by extravagant claims. Every day, Missourians lose money to investment schemes. I'm Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft. Before you invest, make sure you're dealing with someone registered with the Securities Division in my office. It's simple, it's fast. Go to MissouriProtectsInvestors.com. Check it out before you invest.
From the Missouri Investor Education and Protection Fund.
St. Louis LDA's annual Unlock the Magic of Learning event will have a new location this year, Brookdale Farms in Eureka. On Saturday, October 2nd from 6 to 10, enjoy a night of food, friends, fun, and magical entertainment, all while supporting children who struggle in the classroom. Featuring music by the Z Band, amazing auction items, bounce houses, and other fun activities for the family. A night you surely won't want to miss. Make a difference and help local children learn, develop, and achieve. Visit LDASTL.org for details.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Never paint again with Rhino Shield. Listen to what a couple of happy customers have to say.
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted. Our building was really faded. You came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
What a wonderful job they did. It's beautiful. They were very thoughtful, kind, considerate guys. Appreciate all the work that these two young men did.
Call Rhino Shield, 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Sell your car the easy way at Bomarito. No matter what kind of vehicle you have or what shape it's in, car, truck, van, or SUV, just go to Bomarito.com. Answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll give you an instant real purchase offer. Then we'll come to you, or you come to us, and we'll pay you on the spot. So when you're ready to sell your vehicle, go to Bomarito first. A better experience, a better price, better service. The automotive leader, Bomarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group, open 24/7 at Bomarito.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Saturday Night Live used to be brilliant satirists. They're no longer that. They don't really care. I saw people weigh in on Norm Macdonald saying he wasn't looking for applause. He was looking to be funny. He wasn't trying to make a political point. He wasn't trying to be woke.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Annie Frey Show. Happy to be with you on this Monday afternoon. We were just talking about escape rooms and haunted houses and stuff. The one that I went to that I highly recommend if you're interested in doing something like this with friends, it's a super fun night out, is St. Louis Escape. And the website is stlouisescape.com. You can go check out there and see if it's up, if that's your thing. Not getting paid to say that. Would love to be paid to say that, but I'm not. So it's just an experience that I had that really I enjoyed. I wanted to get to a comment that was on the live stream from earlier in the show when we had Marc Cox on. And if you want to join that live chat, we are on the Annie Frey YouTube channel live every day when we broadcast the show noon to 3. Also, the Facebook page, facebook.com/Annie Frey Show. And we're streaming now on Twitch, Annie Frey Show there. If you're a Twitch user, what do you call people who use Twitch? Is there a name for them?
I don't think so.
Twitchers?
No.
Twitchies.
Yeah.
People
no,
who
they're
use
just gamers.
Gamers, fair enough. And a sprinkling of conservative talk radio show fans.
And us.
For flavor.
I'm trying to reach a younger demographic, and I have some exciting things that involve gaming in the works coming soon that Brad's going to help me with. So that's why we're starting that there. I opened the show and I was talking about Joe Biden and when he was inaugurated. First of all, he spent the entire campaign really in an emotional / popularity contest attacking Donald Trump for his attitude and his mentality. And Joe Biden constantly was really approaching the idea of being the president of the United States as being the grown-up who was going to come back and take charge and bring people together, you know. And then his inauguration speech was very much so about unity, his word of unity. And when I go back and I look at how aggressively this administration has prioritized leading into their taking of power, how much they have prioritized this idea that they are going to come in and restore a level of class and a level of commonality to the American people. And I compare that to what they've done in the last 8 months. This is a big fat swing and a miss. And Andy on our YouTube channel, who we love, who's our resident non-Trumper, I guess he's non-conservative. I don't know. I won't define you, Andy. We love that you're there, and we appreciate your counter sentiment to a lot of the things we're talking about. He challenged the idea that Donald Trump was there for 4 years. Why didn't Donald Trump do some of this unifying? If Joe Biden is failing at it, Donald Trump failed at that as well. My opinion is Donald Trump had no interest in unifying this country. When Donald Trump came into office, he gave a big, booming voice to an entire group of people who didn't have a place at the table before, especially 8 years of Barack Obama. Barack Obama divided this country more than anybody in my lifetime, and I've been alive for 37 years. That's not very long, comparatively speaking. But you remember when Barack Obama said to John McCain, I think they were talking about healthcare, and it was close to after the election. John McCain lost epically in 2008 to Barack Obama. And John McCain was making a case about something that had to do with healthcare, which ironically, he's the one who gave the ultimate down vote when they went to repeal it. And Barack Obama said, I won the election, John. And he basically told John McCain, this is going to go my way, not yours, because I won the election. That's the same thing Donald Trump did for 4 years. It was okay when Barack Obama did it because Barack Obama won the election. And as we know, elections have consequences. But the idea that Donald Trump should have come into office and unified the people, there is no way that he could have unified the people, because the only way you can unify with the Barack Obama Democrats is to keep your mouth shut and to know your place. Donald Trump comes onto the scene and says, there's a lot of people out there right now who are not okay with the way it was, and I'm going to speak up for them. There is no way that somebody can come speak on behalf of, I'll just speak for myself here, and I'm going to ask the room in a minute how they feel about this. There's no way that somebody can come and advocate for the things that I think are good for this country and that you might think are good for this country in Barack Obama's America and not be contentious. By definition, it is contentious. And from the moment that people realized that Donald Trump was serious about running for president, and we all had our jaws dropping throughout the course of that entire primary when he just kept being Donald Trump from day freaking one, being Donald Trump and picking off one primary opponent and then the other and then the other. He never changed from that. And he punched back. I've said this many times. He is the bully's bully. The guy who finally says, I've had enough of this. We're sick and tired of being pushed around. And he punched the bully in the nose. That's not a unifying thing to do. But you had to stop the bully. And there are so many people on the playground going, finally, somebody has stood up for us and spoken in this capacity so that we have a voice. When Joe Biden comes back on the scene and he's stumping in his inaugural speech and in his campaign about unity, the only way he gets unity is if we all keep our mouths shut.
No Republican president in this environment, with this media environment, can ever be a unifier. It's impossible. Because even the most centrist Republican will get attacked constantly by mainstream news. Because you need the media to paint you in a certain way to be a unifier, because that's how most people in the country and the world take in politics, is through media. They're not watching C-SPAN. They're taking it in through a lens.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you have fawning media coverage, or at least fair media coverage, you'll never have a unifying Republican president ever again, I don't think. However, you could have a actual unifying Democrat if they governed from the center, which is what Joe Biden ran on that he was going to do.
And he lied.
Because he had the media going to run coverage for him no matter what. And they already are, but they can't figure out even how to do it. He's done so horribly that even they are like, sorry, buddy, we're trying here for you, but we don't know what to do. But that is, you're right. There's a huge difference. He ran on being a unifier and has not done it even with all those tools at his disposal. Trump did not.
And Trump would be incapable of representing, first and foremost, himself, but all of the American people who globbed onto this idea of having somebody who is willing to fight for them. He can't do that and give everybody warm fuzzies. The warm fuzzies come from creating a collective enemy that we can all go collectively point and go, bad guys, they're right over there. You're the bad guy. If you don't subscribe to everything that these far left progressives espouse and everything they stand for, if you're not behind that, they change the words that we use. They change the meanings of the words that we use. They make it so that words that we use cannot be used anymore. They control the vocabulary. They control the language. They control the way you speak to one another. They've been so successful at this point that you can't even have unity under your own roof or in your own family or with your friends that you've known for decades. Just like Ryan said, I agree with that completely. I don't believe that a Republican with actual Republican conservative ideals can ever be a unifying president if the media gets away with what they continue to get away with. And they will as long as people watch it. As long as there are ratings and ad dollars, the media will continue to be able to do what they're doing. You can't have an instance where a Republican comes in and goes against what the people on the TV are saying and what the politicians are saying and not have it be divisive. And the reason why we're so divided right now is because the people who are on the right side of the aisle and the people who are on the left side of the aisle play by a different set of rules. If you're on the right side of the aisle, you're not wrong. You're a horrible person. You have no integrity. You have no standards. You are a morally vapid person. If you're on the left, you're just right. Correct. You're the person who is in the right. So for Joe Biden to say we're going to be the adults in the room and we're going to bring back unity, it's real easy to do when the media won't even cover the absolute disaster that is taking place right now. And they're kind of starting to do it.
Well, and to this kind of goes back to what you taught me, which I probably should have learned in school, is that the media is supposed to be slightly to the other side of whatever party's in power. And then the Obama presidency completely blew that out of the water. The media glommed onto him, and Trump came in and said, enough, there's no balance of power here, tried to take it back, and now Republicans have been made to just be the bad guys. And Joe Biden ran on the fact that he was going to try to reset that a little bit, and he hasn't done that. So how do we reset that?
Which is why, Brad, when you listen to who did Donald Trump attack the most? It wasn't Democrats. It's the media.
Yeah.
The way that Donald Trump would always bring the media front and center, you can see him doing his Donald Trump point. Nobody points like Donald Trump. Like, it's a weird thing. I can't even. He just has mannerisms about him that are very specific to him. But I think that he had success. I don't know how you feel about it, Brad, but success in bringing the media in. He called him the enemy of the people, and I agree with that to a pretty large extent, because the media is supposed to advocate for you and for me, and they are advocating for people who are in power.
Yeah, I definitely see that there's people out there that you can see the divide. The people that remember Uncle Walter Cronkite, and they're like, we can trust the media, we can lean on them. They're advocating for us, and then it's like a generational divide. Then there's people out there that's like, yeah, I don't think that they're advocating for me. I mean, they look very one-sided. So
they want you. They have something that they need you to know and believe, and if you pay enough attention, that will be the case day in and day out. That happens on both sides of the aisle, because the existence of this on the left created an opportunity and a void on the right for talk radio to come in and be as successful as it is. The conservative media movement is a response to the progressive media establishment, and we're living it every day. We're going to take a quick break. Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range, Trisha, and myself in studio with us for the next 2 o'clock hour. Come have a conversation with us on our live stream. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm here in St. Louis. I've been warning our clients that IRS employees are back at work since mid-July, and their collection efforts have ramped up. Well, sure enough, it looks like it's happening. So if you have unfiled tax returns, wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, now's the time to call the Lance Drury Law Firm before the IRS calls you. Tax resolution plans are based off your current income. So if your current income is less than normal due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this is precisely the time for the Lance Drury Law Firm to help you. Your consultation is free, so don't put it off. The Lance Drury Law Firm focuses solely on tax resolution law. It's all we do. And if you have IRS problems, you have legal problems. Let us use our tax law resolution experience to guide you and work on your custom resolution plan. Call now. It's free and confidential. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
When you have errands to run, do you like to run all over town, or do you try to make as few stops as possible? It's nice when you can get everything in one place, isn't it? Hi, this is Lori Heisey, owner of Heisey Advisory Group. I believe the same is true for retirement planning. You shouldn't have to go to one place for tax planning, another place for investment planning, and another place for retirement income planning. That's why Ken and I started Heisey Advisory Group. We wanted to build a company that could help families with all aspects of their retirement planning. We're more than just convenient. We're knowledgeable, experienced, and we'd love to help you create a comprehensive retirement plan so you can retire with confidence. Call 314-328-6000 to schedule a visit with us to talk about all things retirement. That's 314-328-6000.
Firm offers insurance but does not provide tax or legal advice. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Marc Cox here. What is The Mash? It's my new podcast for all things bourbon. The industry's exploded in popularity and price, but you don't have to break the bank to get a good bottle of bourbon. Stay thirsty and hear the inside stories from master distillers, like why Pappy Van Winkle's popularity was actually a marketing mistake, or the best routes for the bourbon trail. Download The Mash today on the Odyssey app or wherever you download your podcasts.
Do your garage door a favor with annual maintenance from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The 26-point tune-up is just $89.95. That's one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. The Overhead Door brand is celebrating 100 years, a legacy of greatness. Don't be fooled by others with a similar name. Always look for the genuine, the original Red Ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com or call 314-781-5200.
KFDK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. An Odyssey station.
A challenging situation. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The White House still using that phrase to describe a surge at the southern border, which lately includes a large encampment waiting for processing in Texas. And that is raising more questions about COVID protocols as new rules are announced for air travelers from other countries. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Lisa, the United States will reopen the travelers from around the globe in early November, but people must provide proof of vaccination and a negative coronavirus test. The policy does not include land crossings. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki points out migrants are being expelled under pandemic policy.
It's not the same thing. These are individuals, as we've noted and as we've been discussed. We are expelling individuals based on Title 42. Specifically because of COVID.
The administration has started deporting Haitian migrants who've been camped out under a bridge in Del Rio, Texas. Lisa?
Thanks, Rachel. Under the Biden administration, those expulsions under Title 42 don't include unaccompanied children and many family units. A big sell-off on Wall Street. The Dow's now down 885 points, with concern about this week's Fed meeting getting part of the blame. The search for a suspect continues after a high school shooting in Newport News, Virginia. Police Chief Steve Drew says two 17-year-olds were shot at Heritage High, one in the face, one in the leg, believed to be non-life-threatening wounds.
The FBI and the police department are surgically going through and searching, along with state troopers, are searching every inch of the school. They've given us the master keys. We'll go through and check every room, every hallway, closet, gymnasium, library. I'm not rushing through that.
Police say they do believe the shooter and the victims know each other. Police and the FBI searching the Florida home of a man whose missing fiance may have been found dead in Wyoming. Brian Laundrie came home without Gabby Patino from a cross-country trip. Now he hasn't been seen for days. America is listening to Fox News.
I miss my baby. Someone stole my baby. By the way, my baby is my landscaping truck that was literally stolen from a job site. Baby, won't you please come home?
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but with 30-plus customizable coverage options, Progressive Commercial keeps your business humming along. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I love my sweetheart. By the way, that's my riding lawnmower.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Seesaw temperatures this week. The warmest day this afternoon. Mix of clouds and sunshine, maybe a spot shower. Tough to find. 88, though, for the high. Tonight, increasing showers, a couple of thunderstorms, mainly late night, 65. Tuesday, a mix of clouds and sunshine, some showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the morning on Tuesday. It's cooler, 75 the high, 72 the high, 72 Wednesday and Thursday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage, Navage. Available at Navage.com.
The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
My girlfriend is really into fashion, and she's particular about what she likes. That's why I went to Shane Company for her engagement ring. I wanted to get it right, and I knew I definitely needed some help. So I met with one of their jewelry consultants. The only thing I knew going in was that she wanted a platinum ring and her favorite color is pink. He showed me tons of ring settings in platinum. I learned it's a premium metal that develops a patina over time. And platinum makes a great family heirloom, which is really cool. We picked the perfect style for her. Then we looked at all the options for center stones. He told me that Shane Company is known for their vibrant natural sapphires. I liked the idea of doing something totally unexpected, so I chose an awesome pink sapphire for the center of her ring. I knew I nailed it. My girlfriend, my fiance, said she couldn't have imagined a more beautiful ring.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
So there is a lot of equity in your home, likely compared to when you bought it. Have you looked into that? Do you need that cash to pay off some credit card debts? Or maybe you just want to take a vacation. Maybe you just want to lower your monthly payment or lower the amount of years that you have to pay your mortgage back. This is the time to call Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. Stewie's got the bagel loan. Nobody else has the bagel loan. And the bagel loan is the best way to do a refinance on your mortgage, a cash out refinance on your mortgage, or to purchase a new mortgage. When you use the bagel loan that's only available with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage, you're going to pay zero in fees to make that happen. A lot of times people go to look to refinance and they realize this is going to cost me thousands of dollars to do this. How quickly am I going to realize any actual savings? And then they don't. This is why you call Stewie and why you see what he can do for your particular circumstance. I have done the bagel loan refinance with Stewie twice. You know why? Because rates kept going down and I wanted to lock it in. Take cash out, lower your interest rate, or even lower the amount of years on your mortgage so you can pay it off sooner. Call Stewie at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440 and MLS number 226715.
I learned long ago, if you've got the right tools and a little know-how, you can do it yourself. And no wall of mine's gonna get some dime a dozen paint. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains. Premium performance from its smooth application to that tough, washable one-coat finish. It exceeds expectations of what makes great paint. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains. Available exclusively at Menards.
You want to know what wagertainment is? It's the picks, the analysis, the information, mixed with the laughter and the entertainment. Smart sports betting content that'll put a smile on your face.
The BetQL Network, streaming live each day and helping you bet smarter.
If you're a sports fan, you know why you should listen. It's sports betting content without the BS. No hot takes, no nonsense.
The BetQL Network, streaming live right now on Odyssey.
Sports, bets, and entertainment.
Download the Odyssey app to discover hundreds of new exclusive music stations available now. For music fans, by music fans. Music stations specific to your taste, now available through the Odyssey app. It's all at Odyssey.com.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, Riverviews, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Really? You're vaccinated?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are? Because I already have natural immunity.
Yeah.
You're not going to follow me around in the store and point at me to people, so I will video you.
So we have a state regulation that...
and it's not law. You're an idiot.
No. Oh, so you're going to insult me now. So my wife is a...
Leave her alone. Leave her alone. Here.
Oh, is she?
What are you doing? This is between the two of us.
So what? Leave her alone. You got your mask on your face. I'm sure you're vaccinated too.
He is. He has a badge that says it.
If that's not a microcosm of the entire country right now, my favorite part is where this guy is walking around Target, harassing this woman who is shopping in Target. She's not wearing a mask. Do any of us know where this Target was? I don't know what the state it was in, which probably makes a difference. And we could pretend it was in Illinois because we do have a mask mandate in Illinois, which Governor Pritzker has refused to give an end date to. It's just in perpetuity at this point in time. I digress. He's following around, harassing her. And he says, we have a regulation or whatever. And she goes, it's not a law. You're an idiot. He goes, oh, you're going to insult me now. Heck yes, I'm going to insult you now because you're being a big jerk about this. This is what the media does. You make a decision about what you're going to do with your life, and then they follow you around. The country, the crazy part of this country right now follows you around, poking you and harassing you and making you feel uncomfortable and even a little bit threatened. And then you say, hey, knock it off, jerk. They go, oh, and look who's going to insult me now. Like they've now gotten the moral high ground from being a psychopath who spends their time in a Target harassing women who can't get out of Target because it's like an addiction for people. And how dare you tell me that I'm an idiot? Like that's the biggest problem here. What is wrong with people? And as she's like, I have natural immunity. It's not a law. That's true, too. I mean, this guy just keeps going.
So my wife is a doctor who specializes in infectious disease.
Oh, your wife.
So, do you think that she just doesn't know what she's talking about?
Yeah, I think you don't.
It's her choice. Just leave her alone. No, there's a store requirement and a state requirement. It's not her choice.
You can't harass her.
It's all of our job as a community to come together.
You're not even shopping. You're going around to harass people.
And make sure that people are safe.
He was following me. He won't leave me alone.
He's vaccinated.
I know, and he has a badge on. Stop following me.
If I'm gonna walk around Target and I got one thing to tell people about myself because I'm gonna put on my badge. What am I gonna tell people about me? Like, what is the one thing about me that I want people to know? Ryan, what's the one thing about you that you want people to know on your badge? Wiggins America, Saturday, 6 a.m.
I don't need to answer that. You just answered that. Please make that badge for me, Odyssey.
It's going to be like Flava Flav's clock. Just walk around.
Is that a Halloween costume, sir?
No,
it's just my little pin.
It's just Monday. I mean, everything that is going into this instance here is crazy. Whether she should be wearing a mask or not, this is crazy.
It doesn't work. I know. We've already had it in the community, so I'm not doing that. By publicly shaming me?
Yeah, you're making a bad decision. You're a bad American.
I am. I totally am. And I voted for Trump.
Yeah, you're a bad person. You're a bad person for doing
I'm
that.
not a bad person because my mom was vaccinated and still ended up in the hospital with COVID. It's her choice.
Yeah, well, it's very, very unusual.
It's not unusual. I just had somebody die last week of COVID.
Specialized in infectious disease. Are you saying that she just makes this stuff up?
Probably. That she has a choice and you have a choice.
Yeah, well, the store has a policy, the state has a policy. You're putting the community at risk.
You're being harassing. You're harassing and setting a bad example.
There's no need for her to put people at risk. You can get further from the building. Yes, I am. Well, you don't know about that.
This is America. He even has a badge on that says it. He's been following me around the store down. Are you serious? Yes. These ladies have been very supportive. I know.
We're having a talk about
I'm with this is disgusting lady. Yeah. He calls her a bad American and a bad person. What does this guy know about this woman other than she's not wearing a mask? That's all that he knows about her. We know a lot about him. We know that his wife is something that is really important to him. This is what government tyranny, I'm speaking as an Illinoisan myself, when J.B. Pritzker comes out with his mandates and he doesn't have any law that he is citing because the supermajority of Democrats in the Illinois legislature wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole because it's incredibly unpopular. And yes, the science doesn't support what they're doing. This is my encouragement to you. When you're having these conversations and you're saying that you want to have personal freedom to choose your vaccination, whether you do it or you don't. And I'm not here to tell you to do it or you don't, because I'm not qualified to tell you what to do with your own medical situations. If you are talking with somebody about mask wearing, whether you should or you shouldn't, I highly encourage you to completely and totally sever and separate the conversation about freedom and liberty with science, because the left is only arguing from science, and boy, is that a screwed up conversation to begin with, because there's science all over the place. And then there's what we as Americans get to do and choose for ourselves. And when you make one choice, it has risks. If you make the other choice, it has risks. But you cannot argue against science for personal freedom and liberty that we should have here. You either should be able to make that decision for yourself or you shouldn't. It doesn't matter how stupid it is. You get to smoke, you get to drink, you get to go to a bar and drink and gauge how much you've drank and then get behind the wheel of a car because you've made a decision that you're okay to drive. You get to do that. Sometimes we make the wrong decisions and there are consequences for those actions, but we don't have the government in a position of power right now where they get to keep you from making risky decisions about your own personal health. And when you get into that conversation with somebody like Psycho Man from Target with the wife who's a doctor, is that what it, or whatever?
He knows a doctor somewhere.
Yeah, he married one. When you get into a conversation with that and he wants to argue science and you're arguing personal freedom, that argument never ends and nobody ever comes to the middle. Brad's been sitting on this for a while.
So it's my turn now?
Yeah, you can have at it.
Why is it whenever I see these videos, it's always a guy going after a girl? Why do you never see, and it's always the same kind of guy. Like you could hear it in his voice, right? Is that highbrow, down his nose. Well, my wife is an infectious disease doctor. It's like, so what?
Yeah.
I'm so tired of seeing guys go after girls, especially in this situation.
It's harassment.
And this is my personality, but I'm walking around whenever I go to a store. I'm like, I wish I would see somebody doing this because I want to step in and step in between and be like, you need to stop.
What would you have said? How would you have handled that situation? If you're walking through Target because your wife sent you to get 3 things and you come home, if you're my husband, with 3 things, 2 of the things I asked you and 1 thing that you saw that we also need, and then you forget the 3rd thing, which was diapers, which we have to get right now.
It's a universal.
It's a hypothetical situation. That's never happened.
Or that.
You're walking through Target, you're minding your own business, and crazy masked man is just walking around Target looking for women to harass who are not behaving the way he thinks that they should.
So how I want to react and how I actually have to react are going to be 2 different things. I mean, how I want to react
is the more fun one.
How I want to react is I want to be the person off frame that just comes in and spears him across the frame and then
tackle
out the frame
of the
on the other
century. Brad Range.
How
Target,
I would probably react.
I got a spear. That's incredible. This is Target.
This is amazing.
You sell everything.
Clearly a Trump voter.
Spearing's a tackle. Come on now. I wouldn't actually use a weapon on. But probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to put myself in between him and her, and I'm going to face him. And my goal is to get his attention on me and off of her and allow her to have a chance to make an escape. So it's like, who are you?
Do you look
know
over your
her?
shoulder and go,
run? I might be, like waving my hand behind me, like get going, yeah. I've got it from here. But yeah, I'm going to get his attention. In gaming, we call it drawing aggro. You go in front and you try to get the big bad guy to focus on you so he doesn't go after your squishier teammates.
Create a diversion.
Yeah. And so
that's what Tamatoa says in Moana. That's what I know.
Yeah. So that would be my goal. And it would just be to start questioning him and then using, what is the term? It's like vocal authority. It's the same thing that cops use whenever they talk to people.
Is it like a presence?
Yeah. It's command presence is the word that they use.
Chris on Facebook says Brad for the win.
Yeah. Well, for the tackle, Chris, or for the just getting in the way?
Oh, we'll just wait. We're going to send Brad into Target and you just wait.
They won't. I know that they won't because you never see it. You'd see videos of people harassing people like me all the time if that was a common occurrence.
Ryan, what do you, he points out that this is a man accosting a woman in Target. That should matter. I think it should matter as a female. I mean, I know in the world of feminism, which we are past, we are now in postmodern feminism, where we're actually supposed to be destroying men for existence, and that's completely not what our foremothers
sure
wanted.
Betsy Ross,
yeah, I mean, people in the 60s. How do you think? Do you think someone needs to step in those circumstances? Would you step in that circumstances if you're in Target? Are you getting involved?
I probably would, but let's say if you're in Target and this
Sir,
is you.
have you ever listened to Wiggins America?
Yeah.
From 6 to 8 a.m. on
Excuse
Saturdays
me.
on 97.
Do you know who I am?
Because I'm lost and I just don't know where.
This is Walmart, right?
You look. Never mind.
In a Target, do you feel unsafe as a woman in Target? I mean, if somebody's coming at you,
Most women feel the most safe in Target.
that's what I figure. And he didn't look like he was physically threatening her. He was following her around, being weird. But do you feel unsafe in Target? This is kind of really dissecting this, but
Not generally speaking, but it doesn't take very long for you to sense that a man is following you, and then if they're verbally speaking towards you like that,
if this is in
that's
the parking
incredibly
lot
inappropriate.
or a parking garage or something, it's completely different. Because at that point, you're not surrounded by other people, and it looks very, very different. I would approach this very differently in different circumstances, but in this one in particular, I probably would say something.
Listen to
just
all
because
the-
I don't like that guy, though.
Trisha, you hear all those women around going, "Leave her alone." I would be that woman.
That would be me. And honestly, this is why I wear my mask when I go in places when I am extra immune. I've got the vaccine. I've recovered from COVID.
Superwoman.
I am like superwoman when it comes to this virus. But if I walk into in a room, I look around, and more times than not, I will put my mask on or leave it off based on the crowd so I can avoid this very situation, man or woman. I don't want fellow citizens bothering me with something like this. So
You're probably like most people.
I would maybe even just when this guy approached me, just put on my mask and be like, leave me alone, dude. And then when he walked away, take it off, because I'm so non-confrontational that I wouldn't want anything to do with it.
I, unfortunately, for mostly my family, am incredibly confrontational.
Are you? See, I'm the opposite.
Oh,
this
dude.
just makes my skin crawl.
Well, most people, yeah, you are most people. I am not. And there's no way, because I do wear my mask in places to avoid something like this happening. But if I were not wearing my mask and someone comes up and does this, there ain't no way that the mask is going on.
Yeah,
after that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
If you are trying to persuade me, telling me that I'm a bad American and I'm a bad person, that's not going to do it.
Bite me.
And here's the other thing, dude. If you're so threatened by this woman's actions, maybe don't follow the plague around Target, because you would be in danger if you did that. That's how you know that there's zero common sense behind this. This is a delusional, almost a TDS hangover that these people have, where they have this dying need to attack other people for a mental, for like a way of thinking and an ideology. That's what it has to do with. And if I'm right in that, and this man is attacking this woman's ideology, and he's doing it on the basis of, which is why I say don't argue on these terms. If he's doing it based on science, and the science says that her non-mask wearing makes her a danger for everybody else, why are you following her around Target?
Yeah, you're putting your life at risk, sir.
It makes no
You're
sense.
risking the life of you and your doctor wife.
Speaking to Ryan's question about if I feel safe in Target, Amy on YouTube says my wallet doesn't feel safe in Target.
Amy, that's not the real question I was asking, though, Amy.
Yeah, but I relate. I don't go shopping at all for a family in those stores, because I like browse. My husband's like, I know I need to go in aisle 7, aisle 12, aisle 32, and aisle 4, and I'm out. And I'm like, what's in all the other aisles? Let's go see that stuff. And it is not good. Quick break when we come back. I hosted Missouri's bicentennial inaugural ball this weekend, and I had an interesting thing come up. A compliment somebody gave me, and I'm going to set up this compliment because I think we're at a cultural crisis, and it has to do with complimenting women. We'll talk about that when we come back. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I'm Eric Robert with Stifel. The economy is always changing, but what does it mean for your investments? Join me and fellow Stifel financial advisor Bob Stockdale during On the Money, Saturday mornings from 11 until noon on 97.1 FM Talk. Stifel, member NYSE and SIPC.
Accidents happen. To make your car like new again, call Bomarito. We make it easy. We have a state-of-the-art collision center near you. We service every make and model and use only factory-certified parts. We take care of your insurance claim, any loaner car needs, and our repairs are fully guaranteed. We'll get you in, repaired, insurance claim paid, and back on the road fast. A better experience, a better price, better service. The automotive leader, Bomarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group. Open 24/7 at bomarito.com.
Hi, this is Tracy with Acropolis Technology Group. This message today is for those of you married to a just good enough or a bad IT company, but are afraid to break up with them because of how messy the last breakup was. I'm here to tell you, Acropolis is a great second, third, or even fourth marriage. As you probably experienced, switching is a real pain when the company doesn't know what they're doing. The memory of the last change is a bad one, so you put up with your current IT relationship until something really bad happens, and then, unfortunately, it's too late. We've started onboardings when a switch has been planned for months or as quickly as a few hours due to an untimely departure. Call us today for a free second opinion, and we would be happy to show you what the last 25 years of experience has taught us. Breaking up is hard to do, but we make it easy. Let us show you how our protect, optimize, and grow strategy can help your business by visiting us on the web at acropolistech.com. That's acropolistech.com. We are employee-owned, and we are Acropolis Technology Group.
It's a tough, tight real estate market, and it's not getting any easier. Very fast-paced. You need a team of agents you can trust to navigate through the offers and leverage the best deal with the highest return. And that's the Gelman team. Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. They've been friends of mine for about a dozen years. I put them to work, though, 4 years ago to sell my home and find my wife and I our next home, and they succeeded. Now, that was a tight market then. Now it's even worse. Complex, multiple offers. You need agents you can trust to get you through those offers and leverage the best deal with the highest return. Maybe you're ready to sell your home, but you're worried about finding your next home. Well, the Gelmans have a program to buy your new home even before you list your current home. You know, in selling a home, luxury is not a price point. It's an experience. And Mark and Neil Gelman from eXp Realty know that. Everyone gets the same marketing that sells more homes over $400,000 in the St. Louis area. Check out the Gelman team today at thegelmanteam.com or just call 314-336-1991. The Gelman team of eXp Realty.
This is Rebecca and John Sheehan, walk chairs for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Light the Night Walk.
Join us October 16th in Forest Park for an unforgettable evening walk as we bring hope to local blood cancer patients.
Participants carry illuminated lanterns for survivors, supporters, and in memory of loved ones. Together, we bring light to the darkness of cancer. In addition to funding research, LLS helps patients every day, ensuring access to quality, affordable care.
So form a team and learn more at lightthenight.org. That's lightthenight.org.
Updating your home with James Hardie siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no obligation consultation today. Ask about winter promotions.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Companies. If you thought you missed your chance to refinance and save, think again. Mortgage rates have recently dropped below 3%, and Rocket Mortgage can help you save big. You could lower your monthly payment and prepare yourself for a better financial future. But you've got to act now. Call us today at 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Conditions apply. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
The latest local forecast and severe weather coverage you can count on from the name in St. Louis weather.
This is 97.1's Chief Meteorologist, Dave Murray.
On 97.1 FM Talk. Powered by Air Comfort Service.
Going to the chapel and we're going.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Gonna get married. Gee, I really love you. And we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel of love.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Trisha?
Annie.
We're playing Going to the Chapel, and Trisha just says under her breath to herself, hopefully one day. So do we need a
dream?
Do we need to get this out or talk about this, or?
I mean, I just need help.
Still up for that surprise wedding?
Yes, I just need help.
I think a surprise party wedding would be the most fun thing ever.
Please, if you guys know anybody, if you guys can help, it takes a village. I just need your help.
I love it.
To get married?
To get married.
Don't ask for things that you don't really want.
Need it. Help me. Get me married.
Get me married.
Let's do a TV show out of it.
Let's do it.
A reality show.
Yeah, those always work out
And
well.
in that we'll work out in this TV show. We will attempt to scare Ryan Wiggins to get a genuine scream out of him. Because I am convinced that Ryan Wiggins is an exceptionally high pitched screamer.
I can hear it.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
can see it. You will.
Please feel free to try. I'm willing to try to accommodate your need for that, but
We are
I don't
going
think
to
so.
attempt to scare Ryan Wiggins enough that he screams, and we're going to video it. We're probably going to fail before we succeed.
Yeah, my eardrums can feel it. I can feel that scream already.
I would ask that you don't try to jump scare me because
won't.
that day might get a lot more exciting than you're
You have
expecting.
you have a heart
Yes.
condition that we will not test.
Yeah, I'll just wet my pants.
Yeah, you need.
I
a
won't
new pair of
scream though.
pants.
You have different conditions that we're less afraid
Yeah.
of. he gets,
not less
he gets
afraid.
really like rigid
Yeah.
and his head sinks a little bit, and he just looks like,
whoa.
"Can you go to my car and get my duffel bag with my extra pants?"
Oh man, you guys don't smell anything, do you? I don't either. Let's just keep talking on the radio.
Just doing the funny walk.
If your urine smells a lot, then
Lots of asparagus.
what's it smell like?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's asparagus, like
He's been
Trisha
eating
said.
really
I mean, you said pee your pants. Is that
I don't, you guys, you don't know what you don't know.
yet?
We're gonna
I'm
find
gonna get a
out.
little bit more than we bargained for. We can get a sponsor on this.
Hey, here's a 2-for-1, you guys.
Does Ryan scream really, really high pitch? Depends.
But, I was really hoping for a sponsor on that wedding thing and some wedding planning, but now we've gotten all the way around to finding a sponsor for Ryan to pee himself.
You, hey,
We have really low standards.
And I'm still not married.
You want to advertise on the Annie Fry show? You just
Trisha's
message us right
wedding,
now.
sponsored by adult diapers. You got the off-brand too.
If
by the
there
way.
is an adult diaper company out there that wants to, we'll work with you.
Look, if an adult diaper brand wants to do lives with me and or Annie,
An entire
I will take a
campaign
dump
around trying
in
to
them
make
every
Ryan.
day.
But Ryan
Mess
is
his
over
pants.
40 if you're going between the two.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I am over.
So-
That's right.
Here's what needs to happen. I need to do the advertising, and you just have to wear the underwear.
I've got a friend.
Tune into the webcam. Ryan's using them right now.
Well, I said I was going to talk about the bicentennial that I
Yeah, let's
helped
class this up.
MC with my friend John Hancock, who you all know from KMOX and Hancock and Kelly and all that. They were looking for a female to co-host with John Hancock, and he suggested my name, which was super awesome, and I was really grateful for that. And so we were there in Jefferson City. I've got pictures. I think I put pictures on the Facebook page. Yes, I did. And so the Annie Fry Show Facebook page, there's a picture of John and myself, and then a picture of my husband and me, and also on Twitter. And we went, it was like 3:30. John and I showed up for a walkthrough, so we could be like, here, you're going to go walk here, and then you're going to go there, and you're going to say this, and then you're going to do that. So we did that at 3:30, and then we came back, and we were all dressed up because this is a black tie optional affair. So people are wearing tuxedos and formal dresses and everything, which is super fun because I don't get to do that very often. So I was all dressed up. And, in radio, this is radio. You can't see us unless you're tuned in right now to the webcam. We wear not even quite business casual. It's mostly casual.
It's just casual. Sometimes
I'm just
inappropriately
wearing a
so.
diaper and in the corner. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I'm doing my number 1 and 2.
It's amazing that this show is still on the air after my leave. It really is amazing. I'm really grateful that you all are still here. All 5 of you.
Oh boy. Thank you for coming back.
Fair.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that with me in the room.
Sure. It would be rude to do it behind your back. I'm not that kind of person, Ryan. What do you think this is?
You do have a ton of manners.
Don't hesitate between of and manners. It's rude.
Looking for the right word.
Anyway, so we show up.
Back to the ball.
When we go, we're back to the ball. Missouri is celebrating 200 years. That's pretty cool. So it was a bigger to-do than it normally was. It's the governor's ball. So 2 years ago, I went to the legislative ball. Katie and I went to the legislative ball. This time I went with my husband to the governor's ball, emceed or hosted or whatever the thing with John Hancock. And when John saw me, because I was in like a formal dress.
Yeah.
There's not. I haven't said anything funny yet. Don't tell me what's in your head.
Okay, I won't.
Just
Purge.
Get it together, Wiggins.
He says it's funny though.
When John, stop it. When
This is why
John
he has to wear diapers, look at
saw
him.
me,
He's so excited.
he said to me, he goes, Annie, he goes, don't take this the wrong way at all, but you look stunning. And I said, thank you, John. That's very nice. And I said, it's very sad that in today's day and age, a gentleman has to qualify a compliment to a lady.
Yes.
Because I know John. He is a wonderful, upstanding person. And he wanted to say something nice to me. And I asked myself in that moment, I wonder how many times men don't give women compliments because it's just too complicated to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And women like to be complimented. They just do. But if you say something nice to a woman, what are you walking into? And John Hancock should be able to see me in a nice dress when I get all gussied up. I want to look nice. And it's nice to be told you look nice, right? Everybody appreciates that. I appreciated that he still said something. I was sad that he had to qualify it. And I realized that that's the world we live in right now.
Yeah, it's too bad. And we are all like, for the most part, society knows there is a line there. And when it is crossed and when it is not, and saying that your friend looks nice is not crossing that line.
No. It rarely crosses the line. And when it does cross the line, it should be called out, it should be reported, it should be handled.
Yes.
But we've
done with it.
Scared ourselves so much culturally into being able to say nice things across genders that people just don't do it anymore.
Don't intentions have everything to do with a compliment like that? I mean, 100% of the intention is the way that's supposed to be taken.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that it can't be taken wrong, but even in a situation where if you know, or even if you're 90% sure that the person's intentions are good, let's say you do take it wrong. As a woman, is it okay if you just say, that's a little weird? Like, can't you handle that just with the person?
Yes, you should. Because if the intentions were good and the delivery was bad, the intentions still matter.
Yes.
Because you might be the person who says, gosh, Ryan, when you said that, I know you meant well, but that kind of made me feel uncomfortable. If Ryan goes back and thinks about what he says and goes, oh, I didn't really see it from that angle, he's not going to do it again.
Yeah, I'm also going to feel terrible about it.
And he's going to change how he acts in the future or how he speaks in the future if it was truly inappropriate. But telling somebody that they look nice or saying something, you were talking about a coworker who was telling you you've made a lot of health decisions in the last how long year?
Yeah, since the beginning of the year.
And you do look fantastic.
Thank you.
And people who are watching the webcam know that, and they should be able to say that on there. There's a wrong way to say that, but people know the wrong. People know when it's wrong.
I mean, I'm comfortable saying it. It was Mark. I came in the other day. He's like, you look great, by the way, just because I've been getting a lot of sleep and I've been exercising. And he's like, I hope that's okay to say, just like John did. And I'm like, well, yeah, we've been friends for how long?
Sure.
You are somebody that
you know him.
It would be okay if Joe Schmo said that to me. Hey, you look great today. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. It's the same, like, can't hold doors for women anymore. Can't do this, that, and the other thing.
No, always hold the door for me.
Hold the door for me. I'd hold the door for you.
Amen.
Like, if you look good when, like, Mark comes in, I'm like, you look nice. Like, you got a haircut or that's a nice suit. Like, I would say that and not think twice about it.
Isn't that different, though, in the office versus being at a ball where you're dressed up on purpose? And in the office, you may just be, you're just going to work.
Yeah, I mean,
Isn't the context matter too?
You could say that it's riskier to say something complimentary of your friends and coworkers in an office setting because of HR than it is to say you look nice at a ball. But still, the intent behind it was to say a nice thing and make me feel nice.
I think the biggest problem we have, and it's because it's been made to be this way, is that you mentioned intentions. Intentions is 100% important. And we have created a scenario where intentions don't matter. Anybody can get canceled for anything because context also does not matter. And people get scared if you're on the wrong side of the political aisle. It really is about politics. If you're on the wrong side of the political aisle, any of these things can be taken out of context without the understanding of an individual's intentions. And what it does is it shuts everybody up. And that doesn't make us better humans to each other.
No, it's a power. It's power corrupting. It's a great example of power corrupting, because Trisha could go in that circumstance to HR and say, hey, the guy I work for gave me a compliment about my body today.
Mm-hmm.
You could phrase that in a way that makes it sound terrible, and then on paper write out exactly what he said and say, this is the way I received that. Well, that's why guys don't do it. That right there is why.
Well, this was happening a lot in the past, I don't know, 5 years or so, and people were getting canceled and people were losing their jobs.
Exactly.
And cancel culture took over to the point now we're here that even people that we're close to, that we care about, feel like they have to qualify things.
Just think about how much of your own personal interactions with people, how much of that is controlled by the capital T they or the capital T them. They and them are no real person. They and them are no real entity. You can't ever check they or them. It's kind of the boogeyman that we were talking about in the closet in the first hour. And when that person doesn't exist, you can't go face to face and challenge them. So then what happens? Who has the power about what we say to one another? Who has the power about how we actually treat one another? It is the media. It is the politicians. It's the very small but extremely loud group of people on social media that collectively, when successful, are 99% of the time from one side of the aisle and not the other. And what it does is it makes us individually separated from one another. The less comfortable that I am talking with Brad, or that I am talking with Ryan, the less comfortable that we are talking to each other, the less we'll talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And the less we'll feel a closeness to one another by saying nice things to one another, the less we'll feel that closeness. And the more that they can talk down to us in silos, and we don't check the capital T, they and them with each other and go, I kind of thought that was crazy. Well, I thought that was crazy too. You think that way? I think that way. There are two of us. I wonder if there are three of us.
Mm-hmm.
And if there are three, are there six? And so on and so forth. If we can talk to each other and care about one another and give each other the benefit of the doubt because we know one another. If the person in your family that you don't talk to right now because you guys vote differently would care more about each other as family or as friends than you care about who you vote for every 4 years, they would lose all of their power. And when you get dressed up and you spend money on a dress and I did a middle part yesterday. I'm a side parter. And the young people said that side parts make you look old. So I tried a middle part and it didn't look bad.
No, it looked great. You pulled that middle part off.
I tried. I made an
Please
attempt.
don't tell HR I said that.
And John Hancock said that I looked stunning, but he didn't want me to take it in the wrong way. I never would have taken it in the wrong way until I had to consider that he was saying it in the right way because he told me he wasn't saying it in the wrong way. This is where we are because that's what capital T they want. I would like to make them a lowercase t.
Mm-hmm.
So say nice things to people because you're a good person. If you're a creep and you say creepy things, you're going to get what's coming. It's pretty much that simple. Let's take a quick break. When we get back, we can talk more about the ball or whatever Ryan wants to talk about. Because Wiggins America already happened.
Yeah, we can do it again if you want.
It's over. Take two. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
An installation of heating and cooling
If you've
systems.
been dragging your
Get in
feet, waiting for the
comfort zone.
perfect
Visit your-
opportunity to consolidate your credit card debt, start that overdue home remodel, refinance to a shorter term, or get rid of that dreaded PMI, then now is the time to give me, Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage, a call. Interest rates are still at historic lows and home values are at record levels. I am here in St. Louis, and when you call, you will speak to me. Whether you are purchasing your dream home or needing to refinance your current home, call a local lender. Call Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage. I hate expensive add-ons and fees, and I will give you straight answers while we customize a loan that perfectly fits your needs. So call me directly while rates are in the twos. 314-336-6050. 314-336-6050. Online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC 224143 NMLS 250353 APRs in the twos.
Lakeside Renovation and Design.com. That's the website you're going to check out when you are looking to do that renovation in your home that you've been putting off for some time. Why have you been putting it off? Are you waiting for the right company to guarantee to you that you're going to have the project done the way you want it to? I think that when people go into some sort of contracting service for their house, they're apprehensive about inviting people into their home, wondering how the process is going to go. It seems stressful. I can't stress enough to you that Lakeside Renovation and Design takes that very seriously, and they are going to provide you a service that you cannot wait to recommend to other people. Word of mouth is huge with Lakeside Renovation and Design, and that's a testament to how they do their work. Your kitchen, your basement, your bathroom remodel, or exteriors, they do that as well. They are a preferred specialized James Hardie siding installer. They also have infinity windows for replacements and custom front entry doorways to really give the outside of your home the makeover you've been dreaming of. And if it's inside your house, they do that spectacularly as well with a lifetime workmanship warranty on top of a manufacturer's warranty. Here's the number to call, 636-978-5000. That's 636-978-5000, online at lakesidерenovationanddesign.com.
Barbecue is back. The 6th annual Q in the Lou Barbecue Festival returns October 1st through the 3rd to Keener Plaza in downtown St. Louis. Enjoy award-winning barbecue from pitmasters from across the country. There'll be live music and cooking demos. Q in the Lou is free to enter. Barbecue, drinks, and more will be available for purchase, or upgrade your experience with a Q in the Lou Pit Pass and enjoy 2.5 hours of all you can eat and drink. Visit qinthelu.com for information and tickets.
Goodwill and the St. Louis Aquarium have teamed up to give you a splashing good time just by donating your old car. Goodwill accepts cars, running or not. The donation process is quick and towing is free. You'll get a tax receipt plus 4 tickets to the St. Louis Aquarium, where you can delve into Shark Cannon or travel the changing rivers. Go ahead, dive in and check it out at mersgoodwill.org or call 314-241-3464.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for ThrottleNet, and if you need new IT service and you're a small business owner, or you just need better IT service, why wouldn't you check out ThrottleNet? They won Best in Customer Service from Small Business Monthly this past January, Best in Cybersecurity in Small Business Monthly in February. Ransomware has been huge, unfortunately, on the rise through the pandemic, and ThrottleNet has saved clients $2.6 million in ransom. They protect against ransomware by providing a tool set that provides cybersecurity training for employees, identifying and quarantining an infected machine from the network, and the equipment will recover in less than 24 hours. Take advantage of a great offer. The first 30 days with ThrottleNet are free. There's no onboarding fees if you leave in the first 30 days. ThrottleNet will pay you $1,000 for your trouble. And after the first 30 days, no contracts, they're month to month. Check out ThrottleNet online. Use the 97.1 connection, throttlenet.com/971. Throttlenet.com/971. Get started today.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 52 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Marc Cox Morning Show.
The Clint Eastwood movie that's on HBO Max, it's just like people aren't going to movies.
The last 4 or 5 times I've gone to a theater, I've asked myself, how do they keep the lights on? Friday or Saturday night.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. So I emceed this bicentennial inaugural ball with John Hancock Saturday. It was such an amazing event. I am sad that Illinois sucks at political parties in one way, shape, or form, way more than Missouri. Like this event, I was talking with Ryan a little bit before. He goes, "What is it?" See, the governor's bicentennial inaugural ball.
So you're telling me they don't happen a lot?
Oh my gosh. We got how long left? 7 minutes?
I feel like an hour and a half.
The joke that is on the tip of my tongue that I'm like, no, this is the Annie Fry show, and that joke is inappropriate.
Fair.
Does have to do with the word governor and the word ball.
Oh boy.
See, that line that you had in your head
I
that you
didn't
didn't want to
cross
cross.
it. I didn't. I walked right up to it.
I don't know if that's the case.
No, I think you just jumped over it.
It's a celebration. So they have the legislative ball every 4 years and a governor's ball every 4 years, just on depending on if there's a new governor or not. And this would normally have taken place in January, but COVID, so they postponed it to September and they had it outside. Normally it's inside the Capitol. And it's really amazing. They have all of the state house, state senate, the Supreme Court justices, the statewide elected officials, the leadership, and the governor. They come down the steps at the Capitol. This is what we did. They normally would do this inside, but again, it was outside. COVID, perfect weather for it. They come down the steps on the outside of the Capitol, and then they would walk down a red carpet, and they're basically presenting the elected officials to the people of Missouri. And the bicentennial event made it a bigger fanfare than a normal governor's ball is, I think. It was very magnificent, but anybody, like Missouri residents, are welcome to come to this. It doesn't cost you anything. You have to reserve a ticket, but anybody could reserve a ticket. And they had, like I said, they had the Duttons from Branson performing, and they were so amazing. They had 15 minutes of fireworks over the Missouri River right there by the Capitol. And there was dancing, and there were appetizers and desserts out for people, and beer and wine and soda provided. It was for the people of Missouri. And I just think it's a really amazing thing that the state of Missouri is doing to celebrate the people of Missouri. And while you do have the government officials parading a red carpet, they are being presented to the people who they represent. And I think that the fact that it is open to all of Missouri, the taxpayers of this state, to participate in this, I thought it's a really amazing event. And I think it properly celebrates we, the people, in conjunction with the idea that here are the people who you elected to serve you. These are the people who you chose. And then, of course, you can change them. There's not the same people who parade that every 4 years. It was a really, really neat and amazing event. And I was so honored to be a part of it. It was really, really cool. Do you have any other questions?
No. I just think it's cool that they invited you from Illinois.
Yeah. I said when John reached out to me and asked me, I was like, well, are they okay with that? And they're like, yeah, obviously I pay, first of all, I do pay Missouri taxes.
I was going to say, we do pay taxes.
I am a taxpayer
so, yeah.
in this state and in this city. And I speak to so many people in Missouri, and I care deeply about Missouri. I have adopted Hawley and Blunt as my senators because mine are disasters. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that there is this river that separates one state from the other. And I have a very good, and you have a very good understanding of how local government matters. We are the United States of America. We're not just America. The 50 states matter, and local government matters. And I was like wooed by Missouri this weekend. Such a beautiful drive down 70, and the weather was perfect. And Jared and I were looking at the sky, especially coming home, and the cloud, there was a dynamic to the sky because you could see the different levels of clouds in the sky, blue, 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 but then the high white fluffy clouds and some of the low. And when you moved, it was breathtaking to see the farmland, to see some major businesses along the road, and to just be in Missouri. It just felt really, really good. And I thought Missouri should be really proud of themselves, and they are. And I was just so honored to be a part of it.
I'll have to go to the next one.
Yeah.
2121, go to the tricentennial.
Yeah. This is going to be a big deal.
I'll be there. I will be honored too.
You'll be even older than in your 40s.
I will be
well past his
140
in adult diapers.
Still.
Somebody change me.
On our way home, We stopped at Ozark Land. If you've driven 70, you know where Ozark Land is.
Oh, yeah.
And probably have been in there.
Oh, yeah.
And we're driving home, and I'm like, oh, we have to go there. That looks fun.
Did you get any treats?
Yes.
They have the best treats.
That's what we got for our kids and for my parents. My parents watched my son, and my in-laws watched all three girls, which they're kind of a package deal because my oldest daughter is so helpful with the baby. So those two go together. I hope that continues to be a blessing to my oldest daughter and not a curse. But we were going through Ozark Land. It's, it's got fun. We went there because we saw a billboard. It was 11 miles away. Fudge.
Yep.
11 miles.
Those are all the little cartoon guy who's on the billboard, right?
I don't know that the one I saw was that, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the same one. That one might be is it the Fudge Factory? There's one that's
Uranus.
There's one that's inappropriately.
I think Ozark Land is the one with the little cartoon guy.
Well, so I'm in there because I thought, let's get something for the kids. We got them a couple pieces of saltwater taffy, which reminds me, I think I forgot to give that to my son, and it might be melting in my car right now. And we got some fudge for my parents and some whatever Jared said my mother and father-in-law would like the most. And we go in there, and there are just walls of candy that I've never heard of. And I said to my husband, I go, this is a Wiggins Mecca.
Yeah.
Of candy.
This is Wiggins America, is what you should have said.
You should do a remote from 6 to 8 a.m. from Ozark
We're
Land.
live at Ozark Land, and I'm eating everything. Woo! 2 hours. They gave me the keys to the kingdom.
Everybody comes from all around mid-Missouri, and all the candy's gone.
There's this guy.
You guys are too late.
Wearing an adult diaper with chocolate smeared all over
I don't even have to get up.
Chest. I'm a radio host. Look at me.
You sound like Brack. Maybe that's where Brack has been this whole time. In Ozark Land.
Who is that man making a huge embarrassment of himself? Oh, that's Ryan Wiggins. If they gave you the keys of the kingdom, you'd be doing the exact same thing, sir. All right. I can hear everything you guys are saying over there.
So let me ask you this. Ozark Land wasn't like a discount place. If you go in there and you're like just angel choir singing around you and you see all this candy that you want to try, do you buy some, or do you like go to an outlet store?
Here's the thing. Back when I was in my 30s, I used to love that stuff.
Last week.
when I would walk into an old-timey candy place like that, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is Mecca. But now I understand that it's just an industry. If you've been in one old-timey candy store, you've been in all of them. So if you've been in a Cracker Barrel gift shop, you've been in Ozark Land, you've pretty much got the same selections of candy. And I do love the candy, but it's the same stuff.
It's the same stuff.
You're
and
so wise now.
I know, right?
Now.
I still will eat Valo milk. I'll eat a Chico stick.
We have to go. Mark
Okay.
Reardon show starts now. Stop talking about candy.
I can't.
Mark Reardon's coming up next.
Hello, Marvin Mitchell here from Compass Retirement Solutions. Did you know that the average 3-year CD rate in the area was less than 1%?